My friend admitted his affair to me. I don't know how to tell his wife.
You tell her. You just tell her.
You say, hi, friend's wife. Sit down. You're going to want to.
I gotta tell you something.
Hi, Reddit. This has been weighing on my conscience for over a year now, and I'm honestly not sure how to handle it. I, 38 female, met my friend Dave, 42 male, about 4 years ago in an online gaming forum. During the entire time we talked, I became friends with his wife, Brenda, 43 female, and he became friends with my fiance, Mikkel, 38 male. I live by the rule in a relationship that if there is a conversation that I wouldn't feel comfortable showing my significant other, then I don't need to be having that conversation.
I like that.
At no point did Dave ever cross a line with me, nor was there ever inappropriate conversation. This is important. By the way, this comes from user Ethical Conundrum on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, about a year and a half ago in the summertime, Mikkel got a big promotion and we hosted a fun weekend-long celebration at our home. We invited Dave and Brenda, who live 5 hours from us, and this was the first time we had actually met them in person. I instantly connected with Brenda as she was so authentic and sweet. We all got along well and even started talking about doing future get-togethers and vacation. It seemed perfect. At this time, my company was doing major layoffs and I was looking for a new career. Brenda had worked at a remote company for over a decade and recommended I apply. After a few intense interviews, I was hired. Quick side note, Dave had been injured in work-related accidents that had gone to court. He sued and he won. He was permanently disabled because of the accident and can no longer work at his profession. That, along with a large life insurance policy from his parents, he's financially set for life. He stays home and raises their daughter, Leah, 5, while Brenda does her remote work from the house as well. So, a little over a year ago during the fall, a few months after the celebration weekend, Dave and Brenda were getting ready to take their daughter, Leah, on vacation. Before they left for the airport, Dave said he needed to talk to me and it was urgent, so I stepped away to take the call. Dave then told me he had literally nobody else to talk to about this and was deeply depressed and needed to confide in me as a friend. I really wish we hadn't. He told me that the night before, he'd gotten into a huge fight with who he calls his best friend, Rachel, 41 female. I had heard about Rachel but never met her and didn't know too much about her, to be honest. What I did know was that Dave, Brenda, and Rachel had been friends in college, approximately 20 years of a friendship, and she had visited at Dave and Brenda's house several times over the years. Rachel had allegedly been in a string of bad relationships, one of which Dave had to bail her out of financially a few times. That was about it. Here comes the information I wish Dave hadn't told me, as it completely changed how I view him. Dave told me Rachel confessed to him the night before that she knew he was attracted to her. Yes, she is gorgeous. Dave said he has always been attracted to her physically, but mentally her personality, specifically her shallowness, was a huge turnoff for him. Some unkind things were said about Brenda letting herself go since having Leah, which disgusted me. He then said Rachel confessed that she's frustrated with her never-ending chain of bad relationships and wants to finally settle down. She knows he's wealthy and can give her the life she feels she deserves. She wants him to leave Brenda and Leah, move to Rachel's city, buy her a large house, and let her be his trophy wife. I choked back a laugh at this because I literally thought it was a joke. Seriously? Yeah.
Yo.
I wouldn't have been able to hide that.
She's literally saying, just like, you're rich. I want that. That's it. Wow.
Hey, Dave, remember how you said you don't like that she's shallow? Well, she's being really, really shallow right now.
That's the most shallow thing you can say. Not the most shallow thing, but that's really shallow.
I hope your response is appropriate, Dave.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably not.
So, she admits to not being physically attracted to him. Like, okay, who says that? But she knows she can satisfy him and he can give her the lifestyle she deserves. She just demands that he has to completely cut off the life he has now, including all friends and family, and be with her. Yeah, so don't do that. Hey, so don't do that.
She's
what?
Literally telling you that I'm the worst person ever, but just give me all your money.
Yeah, do you want to spend the rest of your life with me, someone who's not attracted to you and also literally just wants you for your money? Dave.
Dave's like, I see this as a win-win.
This is the stupid test, Dave. Are you going to pass or are you going to fail?
This is literally such an easy test to pass.
What is worse? Rachel has been planning this for literally years. Sitting in their home, eating their food, drinking their wine, holding their daughter, laughing with Brenda, all while planning this. I was floored. I asked what Brenda thought of all this. He said he didn't tell her. I asked him how Rachel took it when he told her to F off. He said he didn't. He doesn't want to lose her as a friend, and he even considered her proposition. I felt sick. I told him I was shocked. And to me, even if he decides not to take Rachel up on it, this is a betrayal to Brenda. Dave explained that while his and my conversations consisted of gaming stupid memes and planning potential couples vacations, his conversations with Rachel were emotional and raw. They spoke for hours on end every single day while he was caring for Leah and while Brenda was working in the next room. Okay, ew, stop. First of all, I'm just gonna ask you, Keon, is Rachel just stringing him along emotionally so that she'll have a like trophy husband made out of money?
I am dumbfounded right now. I'm sorry. How dumb can you be?
This guy's an idiot.
On both ends of him and Rachel. Rachel's like, I see this is gonna go in my way, in my favor.
No, Rachel's a genius because she found the stupidest rich guy on earth, apparently.
She literally was like, leave everything you love and have right now and you'll have me.
For him to even consider it is like
For him to even consider her as a friend now, as like a friend. A friend would never say that to anybody. Hey, I love you for your money. That's it. Money, please.
It's crazy.
Money, please.
So he asked my opinion, and I told him that he has two options. Either leave Brenda or completely break off all contact with Rachel and focus on his marriage. But since he asked, in my opinion, Brenda needed to know, especially since she considered Rachel a friend and knowing that Rachel wants to screw over Brenda and Leah. Seriously, typing this disgusts me. After the call ended, I told Mikhail about it. He was as shocked as I was, but asked what I was going to do. I just sat there trying to digest what I had heard. Dave, Brenda, and Leah went on their vacation. During this time, we didn't communicate. When he got back, he told me that he had cut Rachel off, but refused to tell Brenda about it. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't agree with his action to not tell her, but it's not my life, not my relationship. I actually fully agree with that.
Not my monkeys, not my circus.
I fully agree with that. He asked for advice and I gave it. I told him that in my eyes, he had betrayed his wife, whether physically or not, and I still felt that Brenda deserved to know, which is true. Almost immediately, I felt myself pulling away from Dave. My image of him was damaged. When I interact with Brenda online for work, I'm professional and friendly, but it's painful keeping this secret. However, as time passed, I began to think that perhaps this was over. Dave had just made a stupid mistake and was just thinking about what could be. He didn't actually leave her, right? And more importantly, he cut Rachel out. Dave and I began talking a bit more. I actually thought maybe things could go back to the way they were. Since there was no actual physical cheating, maybe it's best that Brenda doesn't know for her own mental health and happiness. Maybe we can move past this. So many thoughts going through my mind, so many ways of rationalizing this. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level impressive. Then about a month ago, he drops the bombshell. He tells me that Rachel and he are talking again.
This guy's the biggest dummy in the world.
This is when you now tell the wife. Now it's an obligation at this point.
Either you tell her or I tell her.
If you really are that close to these people, like, there is something to be said about like not meddling in other people's business, even if you feel. But if you're close with them and you have a relationship with Brenda, even in a work capacity as well, it's like this is going to start impacting your life outside of this conversation.
It's already impacting OP as is.
Yeah, so it's time. Rachel allegedly begged him for forgiveness and cried that she's going through another horrible breakup and she needs his friendship, or else she doesn't know what she might do. Weaponizing. This person is terrible. He said he's going to keep her at arm's length, but she needs him. He will just be there for her a little bit, but it won't be like it was before. Oh, holy night. To my chagrin, love that word, as the weeks pass, he begins to mention her more and more. I tell him I don't want to hear about her, and when he keeps going, I finally snap and tell him not to mention her to me at all. Also, really quick I almost didn't address this, Rachel doesn't need to only lean on him. Rachel can have other people in her life besides the married man with a child who she expressed she wanted to run away with.
But do you realize how she doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, well, I realized that they might be perfect for each other because they're clearly both scumbags. That's what I'll say.
Rachel is the worst person on
There's
earth.
no way Dave is this stupid. Dave knows what he's doing. He's not this stupid. He knows what he's doing and he still wants to do it.
He just sounds like a big dumb.
So let the two scumbags be two scumbags in a pod, and I hope the wife gets more than half of his assets. So I tell him I don't want to hear about her, and when he keeps going, I finally snap and tell him not to mention her to me at all. I'm so pissed that he's talking to her again and that he doesn't care about how me knowing this is putting more guilt and strain in my mind, especially when I have to interact with his wife. It's completely unfair that he told me about his situationship with Rachel, knowing that I consider Brenda a friend and that we work together every day. I've begged him to tell Brenda about it. She has the right to decide if she wants to stay. And most of all, that he is actively still friends with a woman who wishes to hurt and put pain on his wife and little girl. How does this creature sleep at night? Dave still talks about planning vacations together with Mikhail and I, but I don't even respond. Honestly, I don't see how I could sit at dinner with them and keep quiet, especially if Rachel were to get brought up in conversation, and especially if wine is involved. And let's be honest, there will be wine.
There will be wine.
I have one of those faces that speaks my mind without saying a word, which is why I do better working remote versus client facing. I dread the day when and if either Dave or Brenda say that Rachel's coming to visit them again. I can pretend it won't happen, but let's be honest. Dave's a complete moron who managed to somehow miraculously prevent his marriage from going up in flames, only to soak himself in gasoline and open the door to the walking, talking, gorgeous yet shallow, lit match. Reddit, please help me. I want to cut him out completely because I'm so disgusted by his actions, but I know Brenda will be upset and drill me about it, especially since they've been planning a trip to Europe for next year and wanting us to come. Should I just tell her that we had a falling out? Should I find a way to hint to Brenda not to trust Rachel? I didn't even want to know any of this, and I'm so pissed that he dumped this on me. We were friends, but not that type of friend. As for Brenda, I would want to know if I were friends with and playing host to a girl who wanted to steal my husband and the father of my child. But I'm also concerned about my job and my livelihood. She's been with the company over 10 years, and I've only been there a year. I've kept this secret from her for so long. If I say something, could it affect my employment? Should I just pull away from them and when asked, make some lame excuse like I'm too busy? And we do have an update. Let's just read this edit first. Well, how much do we have left before? Okay. Really quick, before we give, let's not give our full thoughts.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that you should 100% tell Brenda.
No, we're on the same boat.
And
tell her.
like, I don't think you need to worry about your job. I think you just need to tell her and explain. And I think if anything, she's going to appreciate you for it more than anything.
No, 100%. I think if you tell her flat out everything, like, hey, he came to me about this and I told him don't do it. And I thought they stopped. And here's the timeline again where he's bringing it up. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. No means no. I feel bad for you. I feel bad all about this.
Yep.
He is being a dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to do. It's very easy.
You got to let her know. You got to let her know.
You have no flaws. Like, there's no like faults or flaws here in your case.
So, edit, wanted to clarify a few things. When I say friend, I mean we're more than mere acquaintances, but it's not like we're besties. I've always been closer to Dave than Brenda, strictly because he's the one who I game with. However, Dave and I never had deep conversations before he unloaded this secret on me. We talked about Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter's, going to festivals, and eventually us joining them on vacations, which we haven't done. But money was too tight for us to join them before Mikhail's promotion and before I was given this job opportunity. So vacations were something for the future. We've only ever met once in person for the promotion weekend last summer, but have continuously made plans to visit or meet up in the city. Due to funds and other hiccups, the plans always fell through. Our friendship was something that we had built to get away from the stress of life, lighthearted and meant to be fun. As for Brenda, she recommended me for the position at her work because I had to earn the position. She isn't my boss, but she definitely has seniority. Before the conversation with Dave, I had high hopes for Brenda and I becoming closer and all of us being good friends down the road. Unfortunately, since this happened last year, I've kept my distance and didn't nurture my relationship with Brenda. But you can nurture your relationship with us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST when we go live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. All you got to do is tap our profile and you're in.
Hey, we might even be live right now. But before you go check that out, there's a little bit left to the story, and we really want to make sure that Brenda does find out. What's your final takeaway here?
Like, it's just gotten to it's past the point of no return where it's like, it'd be different if you could like step away from this and it's just in the context of like you sometimes play video games with this person, but you literally work with his wife.
Yeah.
So now the guilt and like
it just keeps
despair.
It's snowballing. It's
right.
snowballing.
And he's put it on your shoulders, and it's like at the end of the day, it's his fault that this would be happening because he's the one talking to Rachel. You're not the bad guy here. It's him.
No. And he threw it at you without you even knowing.
If your husband was doing this or your partner was doing this, Would you want someone to tell you?
You said yes.
I think that's all. That answers the question all by itself right there. So, I have no proof.
Oh.
The conversation where he told me everything was over the phone and I didn't record it. Plus, I'm in a 2-party state. So I think I could get in trouble for that. If I tell Brenda, it would be my word against his. And if she goes to him, he could deny everything or even try to spin it against me. And this is where I worry it could affect my job. My job is my biggest concern at this point. I do not want to lose my job. I don't want my job to become awkward. I would love to be able to give Brenda a heads up about the situation, but also I can't afford to lose my job. I cannot stress this enough. If I knew I could warn her without harming my own situation, I would. It may sound like my mind is made up, but it's not. I just wanted to add those for clarification in hopes that there's something that can be done. And that's the end of that story.
I mean, you have your husband too. Your husband was there when you told him about it.
Like I said, if they do end up firing you because you brought this up, I'm 99% sure you would win a wrongful termination lawsuit, especially like think about that legal argument. Do you think my client has been punished for bringing infidelity to light? I'm sorry.
I was gonna, that's I think you're fine with the job. It's the proof thing. Like who's Brenda gonna believe?
Yeah, because he hasn't technically done anything yet,
and nothing's been
to
said.
Her knowledge or her evidence.
Do you think just blatantly throwing an anonymous tip like Rachel? Well, I mean, the only person who knows Rachel.
Nah, this is what I say. I say you go to Brenda and you explain with an open heart. You have to explain to her what's going on, even to the point of being like, I don't want to tell you this. I literally am tormented at the thought of having to tell you this.
My friend's mother-in-law wore a white dress to her wedding, so I poured drinks on it.
Yo, I got to pour one out. On you.
I have known my best friend Kara, 30 female, and her new husband Mark, 32 male, since I was 18 years old. I'm 31. Kara and Mark saved my life once upon a time, but that's a story for another day. Kara and Mark got married in May and just got back from their honeymoon in the Maldives. By the way, this comes from Female Mechanic 92, and if you want to send in your story, go to r/OK Storytime. Send it in.
Go ahead.
Backstory: Kara did not come from money, but worked her booty off to get where she is. She is the chief of medicine at a hospital nearby, makes six figures, but she is also a queen. Mark comes from money. His mother is the source of all the drama. He also makes 6 figures a year. He works in finance. Mark has 3 older brothers. All are married, and none have a relationship with Victoria, mother-in-law, and she has never met the grandkid.
Whoa. That's a bad start.
That sets the stage for old mother-in-law. Now on to the story. Mark proposed to Kara in 2023, and our friends group was ecstatic. Kara and Mark are perfect for each other. Both have money, but don't flaunt it. Neither want to have children of their own, their life, but they do love children. Mark proposed with a beautiful 4K diamond on Christmas. Kara started planning almost immediately. They paid for the entire wedding on their own, so no one could make any input they didn't like, but did openly listen to suggestions. I'm just loving this so far. They did choose a beautiful location on the other coast. Kara originally wanted a destination wedding, but opted for something local so my daughter and I could attend. She chose me for her maid of honor, and our closest friends, Amber and Savannah, were her other bridesmaids. My daughter was her flower girl. Victoria always disliked Kara, and I believe Victoria is the mother-in-law, yeah. I believe. No one knows why Kara is lovely until you piss her off, but Kara was always on her best behavior with the family. Mario, Mark's dad, loves her. What I think it is that Kara also doesn't want kids and isn't Catholic. Victoria and Mario are a traditional Italiano Catholic family from the country. Both were born in Italy and still hold their traditional values, but Mario just wants his son to be happy. Kara went to Kleinfeld for a wedding dress for shopping. 1 dress for the ceremony, form-fitting, and 1 for the reception, flowy and girly.
Oh.
I was there via video chat because I couldn't jump on a plane and go. Everything was great until enter Victoria. Kara thought that integrating Victoria, the evil mother-in-law, into dress shopping would help release some of the tension between them. Wrong.
Oh, it's only gonna escalate the tension.
Wrong.
Gives you more chances to have words come out of your mouth that they don't like.
More word chances.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Minimize language.
Minimize word chances. Victoria, the evil mother-in-law, wanted Kara, the bride-to-be, to try on this god-awful turtleneck, long-sleeve, poofy cupcake dress that was just... I'm no fashionista, but I know Kara and what works on her body. She tried it on to appease Victoria. Kara showed us this throw-up dress, and she looked at me on the camera and raised her brows. I shook my head and said, you don't want my opinion. Kara said she did. That's why I'm here. Victoria, she's not here. She's too busy being a single mom living off the government to be a real friend and attend.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I just got to write some more notes for Victoria. Ruthless.
Notes on the board.
And tasteless.
Hey, we don't need Venn diagrams this time.
yeah.
We don't need 30. We don't need 30 different Venn diagrams.
And update every sentence. Silence from everyone. Me, take that god-awful dress off. I chose to ignore mother-in-law Victoria's comments, even though I wanted to rip her pinched little head off through the phone. It's true. It's not true. And I could tell that Kara was starting to get annoyed. Now, Kara does not stand up for herself in the moment. She will wait and address it later. Kara tried on a bunch of other dresses, all pretty, but not what she was looking for. I knew about a dress that Kara had been dreaming about since Mark proposed. What Kara didn't know was that dress was there. Amber was controlling the phone that I was attending on, and I told her to give the phone to the attendant. I told the attendant about the dress and confirmed that it was indeed there. I was handed back to Amber, and the attendant went on the hunt. Kara got on to try her dream dress. Obviously, she loved it, and she said yes to it for this ceremony.
She said yes to that dress.
She said yes to the dress. But you know who is not going to say yes?
The mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law Victoria. Victoria.
That dress is a little slutty, isn't it?
Kara starting to get red. Nice.
Mark shouldn't be marrying someone who wants to show off their body like a little spicy dancer.
Me?
Victoria, STFU.
Silence. You could hear a fly fart.
You beat me by half a second.
Here we go. I got to read this one.
Yep.
Victoria, I invited you to try to help our relationship. This isn't your wedding. This isn't the dress you're going to wear. This isn't about you. I love this dress. I feel amazing in it. Shut up or get out.
Silence. Victoria calling Mark.
You won't believe what this
Mark. Shut up, Mom. I'm on a conference call with Savannah. I heard everything. Click. Hangs up. One of the other bridesmaids.
Oh, okay.
1 week later, Kara and I are sitting in her living room going over some things when Victoria walks in.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. Those are my hooves because I'm a demon.
Oh, you're here.
Me. I am. I was invited. Were you? Kara is holding onto my arm so I don't get up and slap the bejesus. Nice. Now that is dedication. That is dedication.
He's so nimble.
To the game.
He's so light. He's so dexterous.
That is doing it for love of the game. Kara's holding onto my arm so I don't get up and slap the bejesus out of mother-in-law Victoria. I'm known as the guard dog in my friend group. Victoria went upstairs, grabbed a couple of things of Mark's, and started to walk out, but Kara asked what she was doing. Victoria with a crap-eating grin.
I'm taking these in case Mark considers my offer.
Oh, God. Kara and I look confused, but let Victoria leave, and we call Mark. Hey, babe, what's going on?
Your mom just walked in and grabbed some stuff in case you consider her offer.
I'm not. She's bat crap crazy. Me. What was the offer? Mark. If I marry Kara, she's cutting me out of her will. Baby. Look, I'm not leaving you. She can sit and rotate. Wow, I don't know what that means.
Damn!
Right.
Yo, you dropped that on your own mom? That's crazy,
That's
dude.
a little wild, bro.
Mark gets wild.
Whoa. I'm leaving work and heading home. We're going away for a weekend to de-stress. Mark took Kara to a spa on the other coast, 5-star accommodations, and they talked. I don't know all the details about how to handle mother-in-law Victoria going forward. Fast forward to the wedding, May of 2024. Kara, myself, bridesmaids, and my daughters are all getting our hair done. The wedding planner, wonderful woman, but scary, came up to tell us there was an issue downstairs. I went to handle it. Kara did not need to deal with this crap.
I knew who the issue was going to be. Does anyone have any guesses?
Who could it possibly be?
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
Clop.
Ooh, here I am with my cloven hooves
no.
to cause a ruckus at your wedding.
Victoria, evil mother-in-law, was trying to get into the bridal suite to get ready. Not happening. I told her that the mother of the groom didn't get ready with a bride. She huffed and puffed and clonked her hooves. I put that part in, but left. Way too easy. Now I am nervous. One thing I should mention, I have a seizure disorder, but I take a medication that prevents me from having them. Mother-in-law Victoria knows nothing about my health. We're getting ready to go to the procession. Everything looks great. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something shiny and white. Remember the title. I ignore it for a second, but curiosity got the cat. Victoria, the mother-in-law of evil with the cloven hooves, is in a wedding dress.
Oh my God.
In a wedding dress.
You're kidding me. Well, that informs what I just wrote down on the whiteboard. Victoria wants to be married to her son. It's funny we were just talking about Game of Thrones.
Got him.
Get got.
Got him. Get got.
Yes.
Get mother flippin' got. Victoria walks in with a wedding dress. A big poofy ball gown. Oh, heck no. Not today. Not to my best friend. Kara and Mark had security to prevent things like this, so Victoria wasn't allowed in. Ha ha! The ceremony was beautiful, and after pictures, I go with Kara to get her changed into her reception dress. I let her know about Victoria, and she gives me the look. The look is something that we as a friend group have when we go to the bar. The look is what they give me when I need to activate guard dog mode. I understood the assignment. I am not supposed to drink on my meds, so I don't. So when I'm walking around with a super colorful stain-inducing cocktail, my friends are looking at me weird. I give them the look. Remember that look? And they nod. They understood the assignment too. Kara and Mark are enjoying the night, and I make my way over to Victoria. People are giving her looks, but she's acting oblivious to them, and her husband is hiding from her. Good man. I wave to her and make my way over to start a conversation. I had a seizure, quote unquote. I quote unquote had a seizure and started convulsing and grabbed onto Victoria on the way down. Drink all over her dress. And we go tumbling into the damp, muddy flower bed.
Yes, we love a good tactical fake seizure.
To Victoria, it looked like I was having a seizure. Amber and Savannah rush over, concerned, quote unquote. Kara and Mark are still unaware of what's happening. I'm tended to. Amber helps me up. I have a few scrapes from where I landed, but I could care less. Victoria has mud on all over her booty and a cocktail all over her front. Guess that pretty white dress is ruined. Oh well.
You win some, you lose some, and you will always lose if you wear white to my wedding.
Yeah,
said OP.
Specifically, white and a wedding. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
Like it seems clearly it was a wedding dress. Victoria starts screaming, and now Kara and Mark are aware of what's happening. Mark looks annoyed, and Kara is trying not to smile and failing. Victoria, look at what this bee did to me. Oh. Mark, you shouldn't have worn white. Mina, you know you can't drink with your meds. Are you okay? Do you want to go get checked out? Kara.
Mina, do you need help getting out of chair? Amber, can you help her?
Me, feigning faint. Oh, I could use the help. Thank you. I'm sorry about this. I thought one drink would be okay.
How dare you? You've ruined my dress. You're going to have to pay for that.
Who's Mario?
Mario!
Hey, Victoria, stop. She has a medical condition. Let it go. Take the ridiculous dress off. You wanted the bride. You've caused nothing but problems. I don't know my grandkids because of you. Get your crap together or I'm done. Holy crap.
And seed, guys. Oh,
dang.
love
Mario
that.
really said, I don't know my grandparents or my
Mario
grandkids because of you.
Just went off. I rested after my episode, quote unquote, for a while before rejoining the party. Victoria never came back, and the whole scene is on film, video, and photo. Kara and I laughed about them the other day. I must say, I thought I was rather convincing. Fast forward to 3 days ago, Mario is divorcing Victoria.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Mario. Mario, he got on the phone with his brother Luigi. They had a conference with their cousins Wario and Waluigi.
So Mario is divorcing Victoria and going to New York to see his grandkids. So Victoria is still complaining that I ruined her dress. Mark and Kara are happy. Amber is now engaged. Let's go. And Savannah is still single, like me. I'm happy for all my friends, and I have been wanting to share this story. Sorry this was so long, but there's a lot more that I could have shared, but due to some personal issues with other friends involved, I left it out. But there is a huge, fat, sopping wet update. Sopping. Before we get into it, Dakota, some predictions from you, sir.
Uh-huh.
What do you pray tell think will happen in this next update?
Like, I'm going to say fallout with the mother-in-law. I think mother-in-law is going to start trying to make some crazy demands, and it's going to end with, it's Mark is the husband.
Mark
to
is
be.
the husband, yep.
Mark's going to say,
Now husband.
Mark's going to say, adios, mama.
Adios.
Sorry. Looks like you're getting no contact.
Adios, mamio.
Because you're going crazy over here. Even though I love you,
Give it to him.
I'm trying to think of anything besides gabagool that I could say.
Just give it to us.
You know I like your gabagool.
Ooh.
But it's not enough. 50 gabagools left, but it's not enough.
Ooh. See, there's really good gabagool, but it's still not enough.
But it's not enough.
I'll throw on my quick conspiracy theory for you. I got one early in the stream. I'm just gonna absolutely send it. Hail Mary, jail time. I think Victoria is gonna keep. We've seen it before. We've seen it a few times. She's gonna keep wilding out until she goes so far she literally goes to jail. That is what I'm saying.
She's going to pull the Fred Armisen and go to jail. Straight
Yes.
to jail.
Straight
Go
to
to jail.
Go to jail.
Jail. 100-day jail. Straight to jail.
Well, guys, I'm gonna get back to reality, and I'm gonna see if we get some jail time. I want to see if we go behind bars. Update. So I have been given permission to tell all from the friends who didn't want to be involved in this post. Ooh, it was too sweet a tea to be omitted. As we all know, Kara and Mark got married. What I didn't put in this post is that Amber and Savannah also had words with Victoria, but they didn't want their conversations recorded here. Their minds have changed because Victoria has really lost the plot and began attacking them through text.
Oh.
Victoria's just going rogue, just giving the smoke to everybody. She's done it to me too, but I'm not too worried about it. Amber has informed me and showed me the messages from Victoria after the wedding. Victoria.
How dare you let the bee ruin my dress? I ordered it from Beep and paid a fortune.
Amber, you mean the wedding dress you wore to the wedding where you were not the bride? I didn't let Mina do anything. She had a seizure.
John, we're going to get back to the story,
Yeah.
but you're old.
You're as old as me now, pal.
I might be as old as you, but I feel like you have oodles moral wisdom.
I've got some wisdom in this old noggin.
You got a
baby.
piece of wisdom for me right now?
Always respect you.
And I think the other piece of wisdom that I've learned from John is join OK Storytime memberships.
Yeah, that's freaking right. We have 60 plus hours of exclusive live streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Get it now while I'm still alive.
And now back to the story.
Calm down.
She owes me money for the dress.
Note how she doesn't deny the audacity to wear such a dress. Amber, good luck trying to get her to pay for it. She'll put up a fight first. She's been dying for a reason to that pinched little face of yours.
She wouldn't lay hands on me.
Would she?
Amber, if she didn't have a seizure, she would have knocked your booty out like it was an MMA ring trying to win $1 million. Victoria stopped messaging her after that. But Amber is right. I just needed the green light to frickin' boom, boom, bop, bam. That woman. Savannah also told me about her messages with Victoria. Then I'll share my phone call with her. And the messages sent to Kara and Mark while they were on their honeymoon, which were ignored. Victoria.
Hello, Savannah. I don't know if my number is saved in your phone like those other awful girls, but this is Victoria. Mina and Amber's attitudes towards me have been awful. If you could please tell Mina she owes me $7,800 for my dress, I would appreciate it.
Savannah. It's gonna be a hard pass. Mina ain't paying for crap. She had a seizure. Back off. The number for Victoria has now been blocked. Victoria, to me, was not nice. Victoria.
You and I need to talk.
Me? Who's this? Her number is saved in my phone. I just wanted to have some fun. Victoria.
Is this Mina?
Me. This is she. Who's this?
This is Victoria, Mark's mother. You know, the woman you fell into at a wedding.
Oh, you mean when I had a seizure? I'm so sorry about that. You didn't get hurt, did you? I got some scrapes and bruises from it, but my doctor said that it's all good.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. Look, shut your mouth, because you owe me money for that dress.
Do I? Why?
Yes, you do. I paid $7,800 for that dress, and I expect to be reimbursed.
Where on earth did you pay that much for such a tacky dress?
At the unnamed dress store that will remain nameless because we don't do free sponsors.
The wedding dress shop? Was it a wedding dress? Because that would be weird. You wearing a wedding dress, you didn't get married. Why would you have bought a wedding dress?
I wanted to look perfect for my baby's special day.
And a gown from boop couldn't do that?
Silence.
Because I'm sure you're well aware, wearing white, let alone a full-blown wedding dress to someone else's wedding, even if you don't like them, don't deny it. We all know you hate Kara, but no one understands why is tacky and rude. You're lucky no one accidentally spilled something on you.
Did you?
Oh, no, God, I had a seizure. That's a serious medical condition. No one can fake a seizure, Victoria. Click. Hangs up. Next up, 5 missed calls from Victoria. I turned off my phone. Kara and Mark got bombarded by calls and texts from Victoria, but they all went unanswered. To Mark.
Are you going to do anything about how I was treated? How dare that little bee spill her drink on me? Why aren't you answering? Hello, Mark, my little baby, please respond. Tell your father not to go through with... By the way, hey, can you convince your dad not to divorce me? Mark, please? Mark, I need you right now, and you're not answering because of that beep that you married. She only married you for the money, I'm sure of it.
Missed calls times 42.
42. To Kara.
How dare you take my baby, you effing... or... You better not hurt him.
Yeah.
I hope your plane crashes and my baby survives.
No.
What? I knew I should have set him up with a good Catholic girl.
Of course.
In our hometown. Answer the phone, B.
Missed call times 20. Gotta love somebody being like, you know what? I should have known that you don't have these Catholic values after literally wishing a plane crash upon her. That's not very Catholic.
No. Not at all.
Guys, put trophies in the chat for the Emmy award-winning performance. Dakota and Keon are currently laying it all out on the field. Put trophies in the chat. That's an Emmy. That's a Golden Globe. That's a Oscar. It's all of it. Golly.
What are you doing? The kittens? Amazing.
So Opie continues. She has absolutely lost it. I hope she gets help, but I will be there in case Mark or Kara needs a buffer for her crazy. Now, update number 2. Victoria has come to my house. Victoria said, I'll pull up. I'm pulling up. Who wants to smoke? Who wants to smoke? Because I'm coming to your house.
Coming to your domicile.
Banging on my door. Screaming. My neighbors called me. They were having a bonfire with friends, but I was too tired after work to join, and asked if everything was okay. I said everything was fine and I would handle it, but if it got too noisy for them, I wouldn't be upset if they filed a noise complaint or called the police. I am normally a very nice person. Petty AF, but nice. Victoria showing up to my house, scaring my children, disrupting my life? No. 9. Non. Hapana. 6 languages all mean no. Do not scare my children or I will ruin you. Victoria.
Open up! You owe me.
Me. Silence. We'll figure it out.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong.
At the same time, I was screaming like
Mommy!
Answer the effing door! I know you're there!
Me contemplates racking a 12G. Honey, go to your room. Mommy needs to deal with something. I open the door. Nice. Step outside and shut the door behind me.
Well, aren't you going to invite me in?
You have a better chance of winning the lottery than me inviting you into my home.
Well, you stopped responding to my texts and phone calls. What else was I supposed to do?
I know. Surprised that you didn't get the effing hint. Look around. All the neighbors are outside trying to figure out if you're a frickin' threat or not.
Everything's fine. You can all go back inside. It's under control.
My neighbors don't budge. But my next door neighbor, Jamie, fake name, starts recording on her phone.
So, can we have a civil conversation, please?
I can. Can you?
Of course, I can. I am a lady. I was raised to have civil conversations.
Well, I have yet to see it, but I'd like to see the rare occasion. Victoria starts screaming again. My daughter comes outside because I've been gone longer than a 5-year-old thinks their mother should be gone longer for. Then Victoria is still screaming. She starts flailing her arms again in typical Italian fashion. Typical. I believe this was intentional, but I don't care. Her phone flew out of her hand and it bonked my daughter, 5-year-old daughter, in the face. Oh, Emmy, Golden Globe. My daughter's nose was running with the red stuff. And as soon as she started screaming, I whipped around and forgot about the raging bee in my front yard. Jamie got all of it on video and her husband called the cops. Guys, do we remember what happened the last time I put this on? Do we remember?
The police were going to get involved. Yes, that was a good one. That was a good call.
Editor, quick flashback.
I
think Victoria is going to keep, we've seen it before. We've seen it a few times. She's going to keep wilding out until she goes so far, she literally goes to jail. That is what I'm saying. Freaking called it. I freaking called it. I knew it was jail.
You did get jail.
I called.
Straight to jail.
I called it.
Jail. 100-year jail.
So, cops show up. I call Mark and Kara to let them know what had happened, and they agree that I should press charges. I don't know how this crazy lady got my address, but I'm probably in the phone book. But honestly, who looks at those anymore? Anyways, I'm pressing charges. My daughter's nose is not broken. She's traumatized. And I'm writing this in the ER while my daughter is being checked out. I absolutely cannot believe what this lady has put my friend group, her children, her husband, and now my, once again, 5-year-old child through. I'm so tapped out that I'm surprised I even had the energy to write this.
How hard did that phone get thrown?
Dude.
I mean,
pretty
you
hard.
gotta
Actually
do
really
like
hurt.
concussion check, I'm sure. It's like a neurological checkup. Maybe like some scans, make sure all the blood's still pumping right up in the
Victoria
noggin.
put the Italian oomph on it.
Yeah, she was flailing those arms, and it was like she like Spider-Man the phone.
So we got update number 3.
Yeah, definitely press charges. She physically harmed your progeny. I would also be in jail, right next to her, probably. They'd be more sympathetic to me, though. Because I'm not the person who made the red stuff come out of the face
No.
of the child.
You sure didn't. You sure didn't. Well, let's get into this next update. Number 3. So here we go. The final update in what some commenters are calling the guard dog saga. I have had my attorney contact Victoria's attorney. When Victoria came to my house and banged on my door and slammed her hand onto my doorbell, she broke it. My doorbell is connected to a security system. If there was a fault anywhere in the system, the alarm cannot be set. The whole system costs about $30,000.
I'm sorry. What?
That's, bro. This is a rich, because remember, Mark, I think, and Kara also both earn 6 figures. This is a
You are
wealthy
getting,
friend
hey,
group.
guess what? You're getting scammed. Sorry about that. They're like, oh, you make how much money? Yeah, this is going to be $30,000.
But it worked out in the end. It worked out in the end because now Victoria is going to lose $30,000, and that's what we are happy about.
Big facts. We want nothing for Victoria. Nothing at all.
0. So to repair the doorbell, that the part is under warranty, I had to pay $5,000 in labor. So I had my attorney send her the receipt for that, the ER bill for my doctor's visit, and a letter stating that she either paid or we go to court over it. Her attorney responded, saying that she would pay for everything minus the cost of her dress from the wedding.
Hey, you mean the dress that you bought with your money that you spent? Nah, dude. Hey, that's your choice.
In Potato Queen voice, absolutely not. My attorney brought back receipts about my medical condition and how booze can affect it. I did not actually have a seizure. I love how OP is literally saying with a pending court case, I freaking lied. She's just giving us the tea just to, oh God, I love it. I did not actually have a seizure. We met for a mediation hearing to avoid court. Both parties brought receipts and witnesses were brought in. In the end, Victoria had to pay for my doorbell, $30,000, the ER bill, thousands, I'm sure, and the dress was left out of the equation. Victoria is not happy and now has a shiny new restraining order to stay away from me, my child, my home, and my place of work. Her family has turned on her and her children all resent her. By the way, if you want a surefire guaranteed thing to help you not become Victoria, to have your grown children not resent you, to see your future grandbabies and adult children, ladies and gentlemen, the solution is listening to full episodes of stories like this. Where do we do this? Spotify. Where do we do this? Apple Podcast. Where do we do this? Any podcast platform. Search OK Storytime. 2,000 episodes, full episodes of stories like this. You're welcome. Now, I want to make this very clear. I did not want any of this to happen. I'm sure that in her prime, she was a very wonderful woman. I hope. I don't know about that. I did not want it to get this far. I was only trying to protect my friend on her special day. I hope Victoria gets counseling and can heal when whatever she needs to be healed. I may be petty and maybe a B. However, I do not wish ill on people. I want people to have good lives. I'm just glad that I do not have to deal with this crazy lady anymore. I hope this is the finale you all wanted because it's all I've got. P.S. My daughter is doing better.
Mwah. We love that. We love that. Hey, this Victoria lady, ship her back to the old country in a big bottle of tomato sauce. My mother and stepfather always have explosive arguments, so I banned him from my home. Get out of my house! That's a perfect impression.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how to start, but my name is Erica. I'm 35, married with 2 beautiful sons. My younger sister has urged me to post about our mom, and I must know if I'm the a-hole with regard to the boundaries I've set up. A little backstory. My mom, who we'll call Stacy, is a boomer Scorpio, aka she is very spicy. Has always been very stubborn and set in her ways. Stacy thrives on drama in all aspects of her life. And by the way, this story comes from user Mental Rubbage. No, just kidding. Mental Rutabaga 3393. And you can submit your stories on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So she ran away with my father from the Midwest when she was 17. And they divorced when I was a preteen. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. My brother is the problem child and has taken on a lot of the trauma that has to do with their relationship. He has substance use disorders and several other disorders, and he is my mom's favorite codependent, which is easiest to control, child. Stacy remarried when I was a preteen shortly after the divorce from my dad to my stepdad, who we'll call Bill. Stacy enjoys being both the hero and the martyr and claims everyone else is a narcissist when really she exhibits most of the behaviors of a narcissist. She has been separated from my stepdad Bill since 2014 with good reason, as they are explicitly explosive together. For example, Bill and Stacy came over for Christmas the year before I put the rule of not having Bill come for the holidays. Bill and Stacy had already been separated for a few years, but he decided to come to Christmas with the promise that they would both behave. He came up to Stacy and started kissing her, grabbing her rear playfully, and acting like they were the perfect couple, knowing it was ticking Stacy off. She told him to stop, and he continued. They're already separated. Didn't they already separate at this point? What is this?
And also
This
just in
is-
front of everyone, and also she's going like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, this should be like, whoa, hey,
Hey,
get out now. What
yep,
do you
bye.
Get out. You're gone. Why are you even here? A few minutes later, they were screaming at each other, bringing up old fights and making everyone uncomfortable. I asked them to stop or take it somewhere else, but they just kept going. It became an explosive fight, and many of our friends and family left before dinner to escape the fighting. I begged them to stop, and so did my husband, but they ignored everyone's pleas. Eventually, they left after ruining the entire dinner for us and our remaining guests. It was a doo-doo show. This was not a new occurrence either. Throughout their entire marriage, my two siblings and I were the glue that kept them together. We would mitigate every argument that arose and had the task of keeping the household calm. Basically, we were counselors for their marriage when we were merely children. Yes, that's
not a great thing to put on a child.
that sounds like a storybook romance. When we didn't intervene in their fights, they would yell and throw things at each other, use us, the children, as weapons against each other. It's just typical toxic household vibes. My brother, who's 33 male, has a child that we will call Dean that my brother has never been capable to raise due to his substance abuse problems and a criminal past, so Stacy and Bill have taken responsibility for Dean's upbringing. After that explosive Christmas, my husband and I were finally able to purchase our first house in the spring of 2020, and I thought about the upcoming holidays and how to avoid another disaster. In 2020, I began to break from my people-pleasing ways and decided to recognize my worth. I will not have my children experience the same tension I grew up with and will not tolerate my mother and Bill's behavior in my home. I thought about how to proceed and decided Bill would not be welcome in my home until Stacy and Bill could rectify their relationship and behave like adults. This would effectively remove Stacy's primary trigger and hopefully facilitate happy family gatherings. This caused a massive fight between my mom and I, but I have not changed my rules because they still can't behave to this day around each other and are still separated.
I just don't understand why he's coming to these things.
Exactly. It's like if you're separated and you're not my biological relative, you're not coming to Christmas.
And you're also like, you hate each other.
Yes. You do not like each
why
other.
why is she fighting so hard for this guy to come?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like
They don't
her,
like each other.
her fighting was probably less about him not coming and being like, "Oh, so you've got a problem with me?
Yeah.
So what did I do wrong?" And it's like, I mean,
no,
you're
you're
just
still
one half
invited.
of the problem.
Yeah.
I could go into pages and pages more of backstory about Stacy and Bill's toxic marriage, but I will get to the reason of the post and whether I'm the a-hole. So let's talk about the incident that's inspired my ability to solidify my boundaries. Dean's birthday is around the Christmas holiday, and this particular year he was turning 13. Since Stacy and Bill have custody of Dean, they decided to celebrate at one of those cool adventure parks, and they invited the whole family. This was also the same year that I had finally bought my first house with my husband and had made my rule of not having Bill come to my home. I wasn't going to have Stacy and Bill over since their relationship was and still is incredibly toxic. The whole family was invited to this event. Stacy, Bill, Dean, my sister, her significant other, along with myself, my husband, and our twins. Now, Stacy had been abusively messaging and calling for weeks prior to the party due to my decision to not include Bill over to my house during the holidays. I agreed to go despite the hate and animosity my mom was throwing at me to give Dean a fun birthday with his cousins. At the park, my husband and I watched the kids play, and my husband played as well with them. My mom would not look at me, speak to me, and basically just ignored my existence, which I was fine with. We had a great time seeing the kids have so much fun. As we got ready to leave, my husband gave the Christmas presents to my mom since we would not see them on Christmas. She refused to come without her estranged husband, which is such a
They're kind of not even estranged.
I guess if they're both raising a kid together and like
Yeah.
they're going to the adventure park and they're
Yeah.
still living together, are they separated?
I don't think they're that separated. I don't think they're as separated as they claim to be.
I mean, they're like separated emotionally.
Yeah.
They just don't like each other.
They hate each other, but they're like, well, what are you gonna do?
They're like, we used to like each other. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll happen again one day.
You know, it's kind of like that thing.
It's that
Yeah,
thing
we're
where
going
you go
to
like,
Buffalo, we're
whoa,
back.
whoa, which is true, but
Yeah.
like also,
Not for
it doesn't
these
feel
guys.
like they're doing any work
It seems
It
like
takes
they
work
still hate each other.
to actually get things back into a good place in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, it feels
They're
more
just
like,
we'll vibe into it.
it feels more like
Yeah, they're just. My mom proceeded to take all of the presents and stomp over to our car and put them into the trunk, saying that she won't take them. I'm not sure exactly the words she used, but they were very hateful. Dean starts crying, yeah, and my twins start crying, and then I lost my crap. I can handle the abuse, but when you make kids cry, especially my own, it's when I go, as my sister calls, feral. Yeah, I mean, not only you made your own adopted kid cry,
Yeah.
essentially, and you're making all the other kids cry because
stop
you're
making children cry.
you're too proud to
Monster.
take gifts that
Yeah.
aren't even for you. They're for the kids.
Yeah.
I started screaming. And if you knew me, you would know I almost never scream. I was seeing red at this point. Do not mess with my kids.
Oh, OP's going full mama bear.
She went. I don't know. Is that.
It's more like a ferret.
I told her how childish, selfish, and despicable she was behaving. I tried to rein in my anger and reiterated that she and my nephew were more than welcome to come to Christmas. I just wasn't having Bill come because they can't act like an adult for 30 minutes without starting a fight. The only reason she hadn't fought with Bill at the trampoline park was because all her anger was pointed towards me. You know how in Lord of the Rings, when Sauron missed Sam and Frodo getting to Mount Doom because Aragorn and the rest of the guys were at the Black Gates distracting the eye?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know
Spoiler.
that.
Basically, the same principle.
Is it really?
It is. I believe
It's
it is.
the
Yes.
same principle.
I had all her hate and anger 100% focused on her horrible daughter, which was me. Back to the story. Stacy got in my face, practically nose to nose, called me the B word in front of all the kids,
God.
and was just pushing me to fight her physically.
What?
Wow.
Why is your mom acting like this?
Dude, she's on one right now.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed to say that I was about to knock her butt into next week right then and there. I've never been in a fight in my life, but I was going to teach her a lesson. I have never been so angry in my life. Luckily, my husband pulled me back and we left. Yeah, see, she was being corrupted by the power of the ring right there.
Bill was over there going, "Woo!"
You were hearing like all the high pitched like screams and you were hearing the ring noises.
Yeah.
She proceeded to blow up my phone for hours about how I ruined Dean's birthday. Well, no, that was your mom. And how I'm a selfish bee, along with countless other hateful phrases. I have pages and pages of her crazy texts from this time. I know I shouldn't have lost it on her, and I did apologize for that part, but I will not apologize for setting boundaries and having happy holidays in my home. So am I the a-hole for not allowing Bill to come to my house when they're both hellbent on being mean and hateful whenever they are around each other? And was I the a-hole for losing my crap on my mom when she returned the Christmas presents and made all the kids cry? And by the way, you know, it's going to make all of us cry if you don't listen to full episodes with stories like this. Because why wouldn't you? All you need to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from and search OK Storytime. And there you can listen to literally everything we've ever made, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Man, oh man.
No, you're not the a-hole for
No.
any of this.
No. And also, I think that you wouldn't be the a-hole if you stopped inviting your mom. Because Bill is one side of this coin, this toxic lead-coated coin. And you're going to get lead poisoning if you keep holding on to that coin. Even if you flip it over, you're like, oh, I can't see the Bill side. Mom's still there. She's coated in lead.
Yeah, I feel like her problem is that, like, just being implicated in an issue or that she causes issues
Yeah.
is like now she's like, she's embarrassed
Mm-hmm.
because now it's like, oh, well, even if it is just like, well, she's only banning her husband. It's like, well, actually, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense because they're supposed to be estranged,
Supposed to be.
but maybe they're not. Maybe they're
I
not
don't
even
understand
separated.
Bill and your mom's relationship.
Yeah.
It seems weird. Maybe they get off on like screaming at each other. I don't know. But I think at the end of the day, you don't need to invite your mom to things either. Because it seems like you have a pretty volatile relationship with your mom too.
Yeah. As of today, she still throws a fit every year around Halloween when she starts talking about coming over for the holidays, and I have to reiterate my boundaries. This year, she decided to tell me I'm banned from her life and her funeral, along with pages and pages of verbal abuse. I don't know why I even stay in contact with her. I've always been a people pleaser, and it's hard for me to take this from her year after year. She is my mom, and I love her, but I'm not sure how many more times I can be called a narcissist, a disappointment of a daughter, a horrible mother, along with a slew of profanity, and so on. Yeah, you don't have to take that.
Don't take it.
We are in low contact right now, but after the holidays have all passed, she will work her way back into our lives without an apology, and the cycle will begin again at the end of October. And that is the end of that story. But hey,
Dang.
sounds like you're very acutely aware of the cycle. It's time to call her out.
Yeah, I think I just also think at the end of the day, like, you do not have to have a relationship with her.
You don't.
Like, she keeps causing problems in your life. She keeps pulling you. She pulled you as a child into this. She pulled your kids now. It's just a cycle that ain't too hot.
There's never an obligation.
Nope.
Like, you know, there's always like a sense, or like there's that outward pressure from like society and like everything we've been brought up in, where it's like, oh, family first, and like it's always your family, you always keep your. But like, if she's like actively
making things
abusing you verbally, like and like mentally, like it's okay.
I think when you get to
Cut
a
her
point where
out.
you almost physically fight someone, maybe we should reconsider whether or not we want that person in our life.
Yeah, I mean, especially as adults.
Yeah. My sister-in-law stole 2,000 euros from us, then got mad at us when we wanted it back.
Oh man, I'm just supposed to do crimes, and then you guys are supposed to let me get away with it.
What the heck?
Grr.
This story takes place in a major city in Germany. My sister-in-law, 55, and her lazy A husband, 57, are constantly broke and keep on whining about it. For more than 10 years, they've been coming crawling to family with sob stories and expecting their bills to be paid. By the way, this comes from Forest705, L'Atelier, and if you want to share your stories, you can go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. Their family's debts are already in the 6 figures. My sister-in-law is a physiotherapist, and her husband is someone who, because of his skin color and age, thinks he doesn't have to apply for a job because he wouldn't get one anyway. When asked why she or her husband wouldn't work, my sister-in-law always replies that she has back pain and her husband has bad knees, is over 50 and black, and there are no jobs for them, which is absolutely not true, as I was personally working in a job agency at the time and suggested lots of suitable jobs to him, which he didn't apply for because the hourly wage of 20 euros an hour was supposedly too low. Since this resulted in a full-time monthly salary of 3,200 euros before tax, there was no argument for getting up from the couch for him. Well, it's summer. My sister-in-law's birthday is coming up. We have a family barbecue together. My sister-in-law calls all of us together and makes a speech. She would like to buy a car and wants 8,000 euros for it, and then another 3,000 for a luxury electric massage mat. The money would also be paid back this time. We ask her why she needs a car and how she would pay for the maintenance, taxes, gas, and repair costs for the car. My entitled sister-in-law, my husband is American and he doesn't want to travel by public transportation and is used to driving. And my husband needs the car to visit his friends, as traveling by public transport was unbearable for him and he doesn't feel comfortable. In response to the further question of how they were going to finance the car outside of the purchase costs, without money and jobs, my sister-in-law got snippy and started insulting us all. We were all mean to her and just wanted to put her down with our questions and show her that she was less than us and that she had offered to pay the money back. It ends with my entitled sister-in-law bursting into tears and running into the house. Since I had to go into the house myself, I don't hear my sister-in-law crying as I expected, but talking on the phone to her husband, who wasn't at the barbecue. I could hear my sister-in-law complaining to him that all of us are tormenting her or patronizing her and talking down to her. My sister-in-law comes back into the garden with a smug smile, puts her phone on speaker, and holds it out to us. My brother-in-law yells, "Just watch it! I'm going to F you all up! You a-holes! You talk crap about me behind my back and make my wife cry? I hate you all! You all suck, and I'll F you up!" This is how I feel about you guys.
Dude, German Sophia is spiteful. Oh my God.
My sister-in-law is there the whole time with a satisfied grin. A while later, it's my sister-in-law's birthday, and we, the doormats, we were back then, want to fulfill my sister-in-law's heart's desire, a car, by giving her a car-sharing deal of €100. Of course, no good deed goes unpunished. We give her the €100 deposit, which she can use then. It's in her name, and only she is insured. We explain everything to her. She understands and agrees to abide by the contract. She also promises that she will pay the costs incurred from her account once the €100 have been debited. Everything's fine. She keeps it. She's like, I'll pay it back.
Yeah, guys.
Why don't you believe me?
Stop. I mean, I can only say it so many times. I'll pay you back.
I know I can do
and
it.
they go, what about all the other money that you owe us and never paid back? That's not what we're talking about.
We're not. That's the past. Okay,
That's
you gotta stay in the past.
Yeah, I live in the now. Hello.
Of course, my sister-in-law lied and didn't change the account details, and of course, let her deadbeat husband drive. When I noticed this gap in our account, I immediately canceled access to our account and confronted my sister-in-law. She ignores me, didn't respond to my calls, texts, or emails, but complains to my husband, her brother, that his mean and nasty wife who doesn't begrudge them the poor, poor people in the car. I haven't been able to sleep for 3 nights because your wife, dear brother, wants her money back. That's so outrageous.
You got the cadence down. You got the intonation down.
I'm nailing it, guys.
That is so far away from Scottish, guys.
Yeah. I can do a Scottish accent.
I feel like the chat colluded against you to say Scottish to make you go, no, that's not. This is Scottish.
Her POS husband replies to my email a few weeks later and calls me a B word and a witch, that he's going to beat me up so that I finally shut up and stop nagging him and his wife about money. I apparently also need therapeutic help because I've gone crazy. He keeps threatening me that I'll soon get a few punches if I don't finally shut up.
Whoa.
It goes so far that this aggressor a-hole turns up outside our house and tries to intercept and intimidate me so that I stay quiet.
Dang.
Oh my God.
That's the whoop. What's that? That's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police.
Did I mention that this POS has already had several charges and court cases for violent confrontations? I report him to the police.
Yeah.
Only to have the rest of the family against me, berating me as to why I would mess with him. Don't poke the bear. I told them that I'm to blame for the whole mess and that me and my husband have enough money and should let the poor relative have it.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm told that.
Yeah. No, it's.
No, you're not.
No.
They can give the money.
No. Yeah,
they can give the money if they want.
Hey, that's a great idea. Why don't you do it?
My mother-in-law even goes so far to say that that she would go begging from the family so that we greedy people would get our money back, so that we would finally stop annoying everyone. Of course, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law don't pay anything back, nor do they apologize. Nothing. They are smear campaigning us full throttle. My husband's family rolls their eyes at me when I bring up the subject and keeps on telling me that it's my own fault and that I overreacted with my complaint. I was even told that my reaction was extremely over the top and that I am the a-hole. Rebuke from the family-in-law from left, right, above, and below. It ends with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law turning up at my father-in-law's birthday party a couple of months later and making a scene, saying that they are mistreated and bullied in the family and that we would all soon see where that would lead to. That's a threat.
Yeah, what a good threat there. What a nice little threat to wrap that up in a bow.
True. Again, the famous threats from my POS brother-in-law. My brother-in-law attacks all the men in the family at this event and threatens to hit them and tries to provoke my husband in particular to get into a fight with him. My POS brother-in-law has no success with this. My POS brother-in-law is a that he only pushes my other brother-in-law's wife to the floor.
Whoa! Only?
Because he doesn't dare to approach men. Such a loser.
Dude, you're getting tackled into the center of the earth.
Oh my God.
You push my wife, I tackle you to the core of the planet.
We're about to take a journey to the center of the earth, starring Josh Hutcherson. Such a loser. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law shouts at me that I can be held personally responsible for the fact that the family is now destroyed. and everything is in shambles. She mockingly asks me if I'm proud of my destructive work.
What? How is this your fault?
What did you
How is this
just
your
said-
fault?
So your sister-in-law said, I want you to buy me a car. And you said, that's crazy. No. And everyone's like, you've ruined the family.
That's crazy.
You've ruined the family. My brother-in-law storms up to me shortly afterwards and shouts that he would do anything to protect his family and will smash my face in.
Dang, that's crazy. Do you not see the contrast on those two statements? You're talking to a member of your family. You're talking to an in-law.
Whoa, I call the police. Good. When the police siren is heard, brother-in-law and sister-in-law flee the scene.
I just
Charge
see them like
'em.
running like a
Freaking charge 'em.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Like they
They're like,
they run off into a dust cloud.
Meanwhile, after 3 long years, we got the money back from my mother-in-law, as she had condescendingly offered to go begging so that we would stop nagging about the money. She was grumbling, kicking, and screaming, but we now have the stolen money back from her. She saved her grown-up, unreliable daughter's butt.
Oh.
My thieving sister-in-law recently came scratching at our door.
Like a little cat.
I'm just imagining her being like,
Let me have a car. Let me have a car. And would like an automobile, please. One automobile.
to announce that she had severe depression because of the way we treated her.
Oh, ooh.
I wonder, could it rather be that she has a crappy, lazy husband who is on her back and picks fights with everyone he meets? Apparently, there was so much negativity coming from me personally that she needed to go to a special clinic to get treatment for her depression. I told her to get lost and that she should tell her sob stories to someone else.
Damn.
Yeah, Opie's the only one who doesn't freaking care.
Yeah, OP low key like sometimes might be an a-hole.
I don't think so. I mean, it seems like the sister-in-law is telling everyone lies about OP, and OP's like, I'm not gonna help you. You're freaking the worst. My husband also told her that he no longer had time for her. I can understand that the family-in-law felt it was ridiculous and not worth mentioning that we have been robbed of 2,000 euros. Previously, my sister-in-law had stole a whopping 20,000 euros from her own daughter.
Ooh. Ooh.
It was her
Ooh.
daughter's college fund.
Ooh.
When the daughter asked her mother where the money was, she shrugged her shoulders and said, I had bills to pay. I am now full no contact with the in-laws. My husband is very low contact. I'm finally free of these pests. Unfortunately, I have to say that my husband's family, with the exception of him, are rubbish. They cover up intra-family thefts, tolerate verbal, physical, and emotional violence, and practice perpetrator-victim reversal. I will never sit down at the same table with them ever again. And there is an update. So maybe OP sat at the same table. We'll find out more.
I hope so. I would like to see that, please.
I freaking hope so. Yeah, you don't have to worry about these piece of crap people. They freaking suck. They're taking advantage of you. They're threatening you, and your family's all taking their side. So just cut them off.
Yeah, just
Cut
know
them
that you
off.
are not the crazy one in
Cut
this
him
situation.
out.
You are free
You
and
are
clear to
perfectly
leave.
normal. You're the straight man in this oddball cast of characters. My mother-in-law recently passed away. My POS sister-in-law and my POS brother-in-law were at the funeral, although my POS brother-in-law made it clear to my mother-in-law that he didn't like her and despised her. Even though...
We can't even take a break at the funeral on
That's
hating on each other.
crazy.
Come on, guys.
No, but the thing is, the mother-in-law is the one who was like hardcore backing sister-in-law and her husband. And now the brother-in-law is like, yeah, but I freaking hated her the whole time.
Just like, can you just shut up?
Doop.
Just shut your mouth. For
Although-
one day.
One day. Although all the mourners except my POS sister-in-law had previously asked him not to come because he didn't respect the deceased, he strutted into the cemetery chapel with his head held high and sat down in the front row. The front row was only for blood relatives. My POS sister-in-law even had the cheek to shout at the mourners and relatives who didn't want to see her POS husband that she was the firstborn of the deceased and therefore had privileges and could of course bring her husband with her. She had the sole right to decide how the funeral service should be conducted. I think deep down, my POS brother-in-law considers himself to be the German version of a pimp named Slickback. His funeral outfit consisted of a dark blue polyester pinstripe suit, not the elegant version, but the mobster version, sunglasses, medium blue Stetson hat made of fake fur, including a walking stick with a fake silver knob, cheap and inappropriate pimp style to the nines for a funeral, He probably needed it to stand out because he had been muzzled by the mourners for the funeral. The funeral itself was quiet. Except that POS brother-in-law didn't even go to the grave and just sat there glaring at the mourners, demonstratively, turning away from the people who approached him and refused to shake their outstretched hands. Why did he even come? When the mourning party broke up, a gathering was planned. In the closest family circle, without my POS brother-in-law and POS sister-in-law. Unfortunately, my deceased mother-in-law has an older sister who was, of course, privy to the plans that only the immediate family circle was invited, who invited all the guests present, whether family or not, in a completely unplanned and unarranged manner. Of course, my POS sister-in-law and her POS husband felt invited. Free meals. Yeah. As these are people who lack all decency, sensitivity, and manners, my sister-in-law, including her youngest daughter, found it appropriate on the spot to berate my husband, her brother, for not wanting her husband at her mother's funeral. Mother and daughter were yelling like banshees in the middle of the street for all the neighbors to hear, demanding. It was 20 minutes after the funeral. The grave hasn't even been shoveled yet, that my husband apologized for the disinvitation of my POS brother-in-law immediately and on the spot. My POS wannabe pimp brother-in-law watched this with relish and enjoyed the spectacle that his wife and daughter were putting on his name. Finally, he got the narcotic supply he had been missing for so long. Yelling at my husband, mother, and daughter continues to move towards the location and also yelled at my husband that he was crazy to allow his wife, me, to write a fake police report against her. Dear innocent husband and family man. My POS sister-in-law's daughter, 18 years old, treated her uncle, my husband, who had just buried his mother, like a piece of crap, insulted him, flipped him the bird, and called him crazy and out of his mind. My POS brother-in-law watched his daughter with satisfaction and pleasure. This devil had achieved his goal. His poison flows now in the veins of his wife and daughter. The funeral was a wonderful day for him. Two psychologists have identified my POS brother-in-law as not only a malignant narcissist, but a sociopath.
What? How would you
How do
know
you know
that?
Who
I like
told
how
you
we
that?
both said that.
How
Right?
do you know
How
that?
would you know that? I don't think that's true.
I want to know
I
how you
don't know
that.
why he'd tell you that or
Yeah.
why you'd know that.
But you know what I know?
I
You
do
guys
know
should
what you
listen
know.
to full episodes with stories like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to this story. Cal93 Baby says, sounds more like a little Z, but I mean, with brother-in-law like that, who could blame OP?
Yeah, to be clear, the brother-in-law doesn't sound like
No, he's the
He's
worst.
a great guy.
He's the worst, but it does just like a little bit. It just sounds
like a twinge of like,
just like a little
yeah,
bit bleeding into it.
just like a twinge of like the perspective is like, oh, and I
yeah.
should have known.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like,
what it does. That's what it feels like. It's like obviously this guy's.
yeah,
That's
truly.
very evident, but it just.
But
feels,
just that attitude of like, should have seen that one coming.
Yeah, that's
one
what
night.
it
It's
feels like from OP. I was like, okay. But there is a little bit more to this story. Additionally, I hold my POS sister-in-law partly responsible for the sudden death of my mother-in-law, her mother. My mother-in-law had lung cancer and therefore had difficulty breathing. 3 days before her death, she had phoned her daughter, my POS sister-in-law, and begged her to finally apologize to me and my husband for the stolen money so that peace could finally return to the family. My POS sister-in-law attacked my mother-in-law and she passed away 2 days later.
I would
Yeah,
want
causing
I would want charges pressed.
The unaliving of your mother-in-law, even
mean,
if
like, it might have been coincidence, but we'll let the courts decide
Yeah.
on how much of a coincidence that was.
yikes.
Okay.
66.
Wow. Well, thank God that's the end of that story.
Yeah, that's it. Man, oh man.
That's the end of that one.
What a doozy. What a doozy.
Absolute doozy. My in-laws dislike me because I had kids before meeting their son. My husband and I are about to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. We are very happy together and have raised 3 amazing kids who are all essentially grown. My youngest turned 17 this year. My husband, who I will call Jay, grew up in a small town, and we've known each other since we were children. We ran in different circles, and at 16, I got pregnant. This comes from user Naive Opportunity 79. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, living in a small town, it was no secret that I was pregnant, and although I finished school and went on to college and had a successful career as a travel agent, I was still looked down on by my community, especially by the parents of the man who, 7 years after I became a teen mom, would become my husband. So that's 23 when they got married. So edit to add that Jay is not the biological father of my first child. However, he is the only man to have been a dad to my son. Okay, so fast forward 7 years, and Jay and I reconnected a few months after he broke off his engagement to a girl that we'll call Tammy. I tell Jay how I had the biggest crush on him growing up, and he tells me that he had a crush on me back then, too. He loved my fiery red hair. Uh-oh. When his parents heard that we were dating, the first thing they did was invite his ex, Tammy, to a fancy dinner with them and Jay without Jay's knowledge. Jay, being the man that he was and still is, when he saw Tammy, he asked his parents what was going on, and they told him that they didn't want to give up on his future. He left and went straight to my parents' house and played with my son until I got off work and came to pick him up. That night, Jay told me everything that happened with his parents and Tammy. I asked how he felt and assured him I understood if he still had feelings for her. They dated all through high school and even got engaged, and since they hadn't been broken up long, it would make sense that there were still lingering feelings. Well, Jay told me why they broke up. She had been cheating on him almost the entirety of their relationship and was pregnant with someone else's baby.
Prego? You're the fair baby?
Prego with someone else's ego, dude. Which his parents were very aware of and thought he should step up, forgive her, and raise the baby as his own. This is important for later, so remember this.
Wow, that seems like a lot of responsibility that doesn't need to be there.
Jay also tells me that in the couple weeks we had been dating, he realized I was the one. He knew without a shadow of a doubt that he wanted to spend his life with me and my son. He proposed right then and there. I was and still am so head over heels in love with him. I think I said yes before he even finished the sentence.
Oh, right. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? If I say, will you marry me, and then they say yes afterwards, does that mean they're that crazy? Or is it, will you, and they say yes?
There really is a to each their own type scenario to this kind of stuff where it's like, you can't really put like this is like the way you have, like this much time has to go by. Like you have to be there. You have to do this. You have to do it this way. I know people who like met, like have you heard the stories of like people who like meet and it's like they don't have any money, but just like they met someone and then like a week later they're like, I want to, and then they get married and they've been married for like 50 years.
No.
I've heard that. We picked out a ring the next day, and again, small town. So, word gets around quickly. By the time we were breaking the news to my parents, Jay's parents had found out and were blowing up his pager. Because yes, this was the late 90s, early 2000s. Always wanted a pager. I want a pager now. He calls his parents, and they are furious. His dad told him to break things off with me and that they forbid the marriage. At that time, they didn't give Jay a reason. They just told him he couldn't marry me. They just told him that it was out of the question. Jay told his parents that they weren't going to change his mind, but he'd come home and talk with them rationally later. Jay left, came back later that night, and when he returned, he was angry with his parents and told me not to believe anything I might hear from them or from his siblings. By the way, Jay has 10 siblings. One sort of important detail I didn't mention above is that his parents are very Christian with deep and, in my opinion, toxic views. His parents' reasons for not wanting Jay to marry me was because I came from welfare people and was a teen parent. That's an insane way to put that. Funny, because one of his 3 sisters had 2 kids before she turned 18, but she married her baby daddy, even though they were divorcing before their second wedding anniversary. They also had another girl from their church they wanted him to meet and go on a date with before he made any rash decisions. We eloped the very next day.
Dang, F you parents.
F you. My parents were thrilled. Huzzah! And not too surprised because I've always been unconventional and done things my way. I will say I have 0 regrets. I think weddings are beautiful and love attending them, but there was just something so incredibly special about it being just me, Jay, and my 6-year-old son in the courthouse to celebrate becoming a family. Riley, That's my point about the secret wedding.
I knew it.
That's it. And I'm
Okay.
not going to say anything else. That's my point about the secret wedding.
You
It's a
see?
beautiful moment.
You know, I agree with you because the secret wedding works perfectly in this context.
We waited until the next day to tell his parents. They were visibly unhappy, but congratulated us and took us out to dinner to celebrate.
Okay.
Fast forward 3 months, and I find out I'm pregnant.
All right. Baby time.
Yeah, we announced my pregnancy, and father-in-law says, guess annulment is out of the question. And my mother-in-law refused to speak to me for a month. A great way to celebrate a pregnancy. That Christmas, they gave us a check for $1,000, and on the note line, it read for paternity test. We cashed the check and spent it on a nice little pre-baby trip for my birthday.
All right.
Yeah. My entire pregnancy, my in-laws swore to all their children the baby was not Jay's, and I was just trying to trap him. We didn't do the deed until we married. Like, we snuggled and we kissed, but we never did the horizontal tango until the day we were husband and wife.
You can still do the vertical tango,
What is that, basketball?
or you can do like one vertical, one kind of horizontal.
Now, I'm going to skip ahead a few years. We had enough of the small town and his family's toxicity. His parents weren't the only ones who made our lives a living HE hockey sticks. The sister with 2 kids before she was 18 was and still is a nightmare. And oh boy, are some of those stories juicy. Maybe I'll share some later. Oh, you tease, OP. We were living happily in another part of the state and just celebrated our 7th anniversary. Jay had a brother who lived in the same town. This one we are kind of close to. Him and his wife weren't complete a-holes.
All right.
Shocker. Jay's parents came down to visit that brother and decided to pay us a visit. Standing in my living room, my father-in-law looked at me and asked if I knew what the 7-year itch is. Now, I love old Hollywood movies, so immediately I thought, wow, he remembered my love of old movies and is actually trying to bond with me. I couldn't have been more wrong. I tell him, yeah, it's a movie with Marilyn Monroe and Tom Ewell. And I explain the plot. He tells me, well, yes. But it's also a real thing when after a man has been married for 7 years and he realizes that there are better things, better people out there for him. He then looks at my husband and says, and it's perfectly normal to have those feelings. And it's better to get out now before you have any more regrets. And he looks at my 2 youngest children and he goes, I don't love you as much as I would if you were spawned from another person.
Dude, I like the part where they were kind of discreet about it.
I'm a good Christian. It's time to cheat on your wife and leave your children. Oh, God. So, Jay exiled his parents from the house. His mother was crying and protesting, saying that they were supposed to come over and mend things, not make them worse. After that, we didn't speak to his parents for another 7 or so years. But as the kids grew, I sent his mother pictures and updates on her grandchildren. I genuinely felt bad for her after that. But that didn't last long. We had been married for about 16 years when we finally gave his parents another chance. Ask why, because I don't know why. Jay did it for me. Because I had lost both my parents not long before this, I really needed a mom. Now, Jay and I have raised our kids to be confident, independent, and know that we love them for who they are as a person no matter what. So, when my daughter came out, we were honestly not surprised and proud of her for being brave enough to come out to us when she did. She refused to hide who she was to our extended family, and Jay and I support her 1,000,000,000%. My father-in-law told her that he's known her whole life, and it doesn't change how much he loves her. Ha ha, ha ha. He even invites her to spend the summer with them working in the business they own and learning the trade. We really thought that those years of distance had made a difference. But the week before our daughter was supposed to go to her grandparents' house, I get a handwritten letter, no return address, saying that my father-in-law planned to send my daughter off to some religious camp to help her find God.
Oh, wow.
The letter was written in my mother-in-law's unmistakable handwriting. She ratted out her husband's nefarious plans and saved my daughter from what could have been a life of trauma. So, not to give my mother-in-law away, we canceled the summer plans with the excuse of going on a family trip for that summer. We just hung out at home, went to the water park, went paddleboarding, and just had a lazy summer at home, but turned our phones on Do Not Disturb. We sent pics and posted our random activities through the summer, and anyone who didn't know would never have guessed that we never left our town. Fast forward to now. So my oldest son, now in his mid-20s, has made some bad choices in life and struggles daily. We help him when and where we can, but a couple years ago, he moved back to our hometown to get to know his biological father's side of the family. They wanted no contact while he was growing up, and I never spoke badly about them to my son because I didn't want to hurt him. It really can damage a child when they hear how their parents feel about the absent parent. Well, we started getting urgent calls from the father-in-law about my oldest son. He's embarrassing me. He showed up at our church for services today, and he told people we're his grandparents. If he shows up at my work one more time, I'm having him arrested. What's a male version of a Karen because that's my father-in-law?
Ken.
Then he started to berate my parenting and told me if I had put the kid up for adoption like I should have, he might have had a better life and not be such an embarrassment. Wow. This guy, I'd like to take him on a walk through the park. I cried every night and would have a panic attack every time my phone rang. Terrible. Jay wanted me to block his father, and so I did. Yes. He started calling from his business line, then the mother-in-law's phone. I blocked them too. It really hurt both me and my mother-in-law because we were finally starting to form a friendship. She started coming to visit without father-in-law. That didn't last long, though. And we would go to old bookstores, antique, and thrift shopping. We started to discover we have a lot of the same interests. And by the way, you can discover a lot of full episodes of stories like this on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and there you will find us. And we're waiting for you. We have a little bit more story. I think we all are in agreement where we're at.
Agreed.
This dad needs to, I don't know. I think what this dad needs is a time machine. He needs to go back in time, and he needs to completely change the person that he is.
Agreeing faster.
Yeah. She was getting close to my daughter and was not ashamed of the fact that my girl is not straight. And it made me so happy. Like I'm tearing up just writing this. But things came to a head when father-in-law made some nasty comments during a family reunion over the summer about my youngest son. And if he turns out to be, insert very derogatory word for loving men here, he was cutting us all off and out of his will.
It was the F word.
Jay had had enough. Told his father to go to the lake of fire and he'd rather live off welfare than accept anything from his father's will. We left the family reunion. On the way home, Jay's mother kept texting and apologizing for her husband's behavior, saying stuff like, he can't help it. It's the generation he grew up in. Which is BS. Jay wants us to cut all contact with both his parents, and I know we should, but I feel like the a-hole because his mother has put in an effort to change. Dang, dude.
Nah, the mom's like worm
The
tongue.
a-hole is, dude. We know who the a-hole is in the story, dude.
You're better off without the inheritance.
It's collateral damage, man. The mom's relationship, the mother-in-law's relationship with you is collateral damage.
Yeah, dude.
If he had just not been a terrible, stinky man and not said all these horrible things to your children and about your children, maybe you could have made that work.
Fiance postponed our wedding because he wants to stay with his cancer-ridden ex-wife.
I mean, she only has a little bit left to live. She only has a little bit left to live. Let her live.
He said it, not me. So, Max and I dated for 2 years and have been engaged for 9 months, with the wedding date set for early January. We have a healthy, honest relationship, and I've never had any reason to doubt him. By the way,
Until now.
By the way, this comes from Engage Throwaway on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So he and Caroline were high school sweethearts who married young. You don't like that?
That's where it went wrong.
You don't like? Is there
Caroline.
Caroline.
some history?
No.
Caroline.
You know? Do you know?
Caroline.
No way you'd know.
I maybe don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
I maybe don't know. Anyways, deep cuts aside that John is out of the loop on. They were married very young. They were both 22, right out of college. They divorced after 2 years, and Max told me that they got married too quickly and didn't realize how different their relationship would be in the real world, i.e., when they both were working full-time jobs and struggling to pay the rent. They split up on good terms, but didn't keep in touch. He remained in our home city while she pursued a modeling career and began traveling extensively.
Oh, she's hot.
I think she kind of, I hate to say it, dropped the anchor and kind of soared to sights never seen. But 3 months ago, Caroline contacted Max over Facebook out of the blue, saying she was in town and wanted to meet for coffee. He agreed. Over coffee, she told him that she had recently been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Her odds of survival were low, but she was determined to fight through it with surgery and chemo. She said that all she wanted was for Max to be by her side throughout the treatment. Wow. So basically, I'm trying to see the time gap between this. I'm thinking it's a few years, but that is kind of crazy. that she came back and was just like, yo, I know we were split, but I just want to be with you for these last few weeks. That's a wild
Romantic.
thing to
Yeah.
find yourself in.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
how long does she have left?
They don't say have an exact amount of time, but stage 4 breast cancer, odds of survival were very low. And she wanted Max to be by her side throughout the treatment.
Wow.
So that's a lot for Max to
Yeah. I also,
process.
not that I don't want to believe everyone that says they have cancer. I do.
That's a lot of stories like
We've had some stories where
Dude.
people lie about cancer to get
again.
whoop in the pants.
If that
So,
happens again, dude.
dude, it's a get out of jail free card.
Oh, not like 3 in one day. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Caroline's parents passed away shortly before she married Max. She has no siblings, and the rest of her family lives overseas. She describes Max as the closest thing to family she has left. I absolutely sympathize with Caroline. The next day, Max had her over to our apartment, and she was completely lovely, clearly trying very hard to be optimistic, even in the face of her life potentially ending before she turned 30. Which, now for context, they were married at 22, and then split up, and now they're 30. So it's been
8 years.
around 8 years.
Wow.
I feel terrible for her and the situation she's in, and I fully supported Max being there for her.
How much do you support him being there for her?
That's the question. It's a big question. I mean, this is complicated. This is... Whew. Her first surgery was later that month. Max flew across the country. We live on the East Coast. She's on the West. And checked into a hotel a few minutes from her apartment. He's a writer, so working from his laptop is no issue. We spoke on the phone or on Skype almost every day for the 2 weeks he was over there. Caroline had her surgery at the beginning of June. Unfortunately, it was not entirely successful, and her doctors moved on to the next step, chemo. So to be clear, it's basically like, okay, so they're still going to try chemo next.
Yeah.
Max came home after the surgery to tell me this. He explained that Caroline's treatment plan was set to begin in July and end in late January. It would be an incredibly difficult time period for her, and she wanted him with her at all times.
This is hard. This is hard.
My gut right now is you kind of can't blame, I guess, Carolyn for
Shooting
putting
the
yourself
shot.
in her
Hey,
shoes. You
She's
shoot your
about
shot.
to die. She's about to pass away. Like, dude, she has every right to shoot a shot.
But you shoot the shot, but then the expectation is...
But not necessarily shoot the shot to the point where his shot is shot. I think like just before that, like
shoot the shot, don't expect.
Yeah, but like I don't even I feel like it's still bad taste to. But you're a bad. Who cares? You're about to die.
Do you want your honeymoon to be paid for? Yes or no?
We don't know if... Are you saying Caroline to pay...
Caroline, I'll take care of you in your final moments. Just change your will.
Dude.
Change your life insurance.
Riley is thinking in some 40
babe,
chess right now.
This is a financial opportunity.
This is an investment.
Look, her vision's getting blurry. I'll just hire a double. It's not that big of a deal, okay?
Dude.
Oh man. And Ness said, I wouldn't like this. I don't think many people would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like it if $1 million was involved?
I mean,
Chat,
I'd
name
like
your
it
price.
more.
Chat, in the chat
name
below.
your price.
And everyone watching right now, comment below, what is your price?
Name your price
I
for
want to know.
your hubby spending every moment with his passing away ex-wife.
From 8 years ago.
From 8 years ago. And you don't know whether they're going to hook up or not.
And she could recover too.
And she could recover too.
So with that said, name your price, comment below. I want to see it, but we're going to keep going. Kimberly Fine said, this is hard is what OP's partner and Caroline's Gus are saying too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Producer Riley.
I swear, babe, it's a new cancer treatment.
Oh, God. They say, hold on. I gotta cook. I gotta cook.
Let him cook.
Ease of life. What is it? Quality of life.
Quality life.
Make it go up.
Yeah.
You're going out. You might as well enjoy it.
Exactly.
That's where we're at.
And you gotta, maybe by giving her some new life, she might live longer. A bunch of little new potential babies swimming around.
Slithy Toes, by the way, says for $1 million, done.
Yeah, I saw 250K.
Keep putting your numbers in.
I saw free.
Oh God. Opie says we can't afford to pay for a hotel until January, so he moved into her apartment, sleeping on her sofa. He's been there the past month, and we continue to Skype, though only a couple times a week now.
Oh, wait. He's already been there a month. So she agreed. This is the chillest wife in history. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And it's gone down in the amount that he's talking to her.
It's doing this.
Oh, he does not miss you. Oh, that's mean to say. But it's true.
Oh, dude.
Anissa Julia says $1 million plus. If she recovers, I'm putting her back in the hospital.
Anissa's got a plan.
Oh, man.
When we spoke yesterday, Max gently told me that based on Caroline's condition, he wouldn't feel right leaving her so close to the end of her treatment.
Yeah.
He'd like for us to postpone the wedding until February at the very least, so he can stay with her until the treatment is over.
No, he is no longer sure. He is no longer sure.
Babe, I can't go on the honeymoon. She might not make it. What about her?
Dude. Queen procrastination. Who saw this coming? Everyone saw this coming. This was a bad idea.
With her. Already living with her.
I mean, hey, I understand. OP was in a rock and a hard place. How do you tell your husband to not see his passing away ex-wife? And you do that by saying, I don't think that is a good idea. Well, you say it. You say that. That's how you say it.
And it's like, okay, it's like super reasonable. Like, hey, I kind of want to reconnect and whatever. Like, we'll visit and maybe chat more and we'll rebuild a friendship.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing to sleep in her house for a month and then postpone your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to insane levels. Sorry for yelling.
Whew.
Opie says, I'm so conflicted.
I remember you was conflicted.
Yeah.
I hope.
I feel awful for resenting Caroline at all. She has cancer. It's okay, OP. She's suffering immensely, but the resentment is still there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay, OP. You said.
Everyone watching, visual humor. Okay, OP. Mug.
Whoa.
That's so meta.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day.
Back when we were 4 letters.
You're welcome, audio listeners. It was a mug. But the resentment is still there. I resent her for needing Max constantly holding her hand as though she has absolutely no friends of her own. I resent Max, too, for agreeing to this situation. We won't be seeing each other in person for months now, on top of our wedding being postponed.
I don't know if you have a husband,
dude,
after this.
He can't even visit, like...
Yeah, visit, bro, because I'm on the boat now. I'm on the boat.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is way too much.
All right, well, question really quick. There's a lot more to the story, I know.
Yes.
But really quick,
Yes.
Let's say, you have a committed relationship on the way to marriage, and an ex says, hey, I need you to spend time with me before I pass away, and I want every moment. At what, to what level do you acquiesce? Obviously, moving there and spending months is way too much. But what is the right amount?
I think first is go visit if she's staying in the hospital, wherever the case is. Get some coffee, reconnect.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
okay.
Right in this that beginning space, that's where things can go left very quick. And if she's like, hey, I want to spend all the time together, that's where you're like, and yes, you will feel like a dirtbag. But in reality, I'm saying not that you are.
Yeah.
You're not a dirtbag. It'll probably OP's like, oh, but she has cancer, I feel bad. Yes, you might, or it might be hard to say, but it is so reasonable for you to say, hey, I'm not going to leave my partner to live with you, be with you every second.
Yeah. But I'd love to visit you. I'd love to maybe do some phone calls. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's okay.
There's a level where it's fine.
There's a level, but this is so past
so far.
the level where this is okay.
And you got if you God forbid if you find yourselves in the situation, it is okay.
Also,
OP, it is okay.
like the fact that he kind of did this doesn't seem like they had a lot of conversation about this.
It sounds like he was just like, I'm gonna go. I bet he still has feelings.
One that slipped away. She's a model traveling internationally.
Yeah,
With cancer.
with cancer, dude. She's just
Not
stacked.
mutually exclusive.
She's
Exclusive.
stacked. I
Yeah.
mean, not only is she a model that's super interesting in traveling, but like he's probably already into her. But now she's passing away. Like now, there's even more reason to go see
Conspiracy
her.
theory. You know how OP was like, oh, they had these differences, like splitting the rent and like all this stuff. I think that's what the husband tells OP, or what the spouse tells OP, because secretly spouse is a little butthurt,
Yeah, of course.
but doesn't want to admit it. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, but she's like the McRib, limited time only.
It's true. It's true. And OP's hubby wants a little taste.
Oh, he's licking his fingers like Sam.
Also, some of you are thinking I'm cooking up a golden rule. You tell me what you think the golden rule is.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
Because
Fun game.
I feel like there might be a rule cooking.
Let us know. Comment
Cancer
below.
rule.
Oh God. So Opie says, I don't know what to do. I have no idea how I'm supposed to feel. Right now, I'm just full of anger and guilt, and I don't know how to explain it to anyone else in my life. Also, I think some people may be saying I have a gecko.
I think I
Checo.
solved.
I apologize for my gecko.
Also, no, cancer is not sexy and passing away isn't sexy. I'm saying it just means she is a limited time offer.
I think he's
like,
interested regardless. I
I
like.
think he's interested regardless, but now it's like, oh wow, I only have like one time to get with her and be with this person. And this is my only chance. So it's just that the timeline is smushed.
Yeah. It's so sad.
Again,
Also-
like the McRib.
They're banging.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. Can't not be.
I
Living
feel like
in her
they are.
house for months? That's crazy. But we have an edit. Everyone seems to be in agreement that this is completely inappropriate. Yes. If not an incredibly sad situation that Max isn't handling very well. I'll speak to him either tonight or tomorrow whenever we Skype next and tell him in no uncertain terms that I want him to come home. There we go. OP, you deserve that. You deserve that, OP.
In the time of Skype? Oh, he's getting away with much more than
Back in the day. Oh, gosh.
because you don't have all the technology of location. You
Yeah,
don't
we're
know
not
where
tracking.
he's at.
Wow. Dude, he's my boy's getting away with a whole lot. But from there, we can decide what to do since I don't want to leave Caroline high and dry, dude. OP is too empathetic. OP.
Too empathetic.
But him living there until February is out of the question. And we have some relevant comments. Comment number 1. He is intending on living with his ex until February. Are you to do what? Just wait? No. Your resentment and discomfort is not wrong. I feel intense sympathy for her. For your partner, absolutely. Death is a terrifying, cold thing. But he's supposed to be with you. It was not her right to ask him to be with her as a husband. This is a horror. Did she ask you? My fear is, okay, so February comes, her chemo's done, now she's weak and miserable from chemo. Is he going to leave her then, feeling like that? Great point. He should have not asked you over Skype. He should have been there in person. When is the next time you're supposed to see him? To which OP replies, we're not in a bad place financially, but we just can't afford a plane ticket every month. Then fly every 2 months.
Yeah.
He needs to figure it out. I've been trying to save up to buy a house after the wedding, not to mention the cost of the wedding itself. So to answer your question, end of January, early February, that's when I'm planning on seeing him in person according to his plan.
Well, I feel like you're going to save a lot of money on this wedding. That's not going to happen. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, that house, it's going up.
It's going up.
We're about to get a mansion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Put that wedding money into a house for yourself.
Low key, super quick. I did hear this little tidbit once and thought it was kind of fire. It was basically like, hey, future spouse, Do you want a crazy wedding or a crazy house? That's the question.
Where? Like in Bali? Because the amount you're gonna spend on a wedding, you can probably get like a 3-bedroom.
It's true.
In Midwestern Ohio.
Dude, in North Dakota, we could get it popping.
We could.
That's
we
what
could
we've
get
learned.
it popping.
And we've got all our fans there now, apparently.
Yeah.
It's going great.
Yeah, dude, all our new radio fans.
Yeah, we'll be in North Dakota, but what are we gonna do? Like herd sheep?
Yes.
Herd cows?
Dude, you're listing your favorite activities. What are you talking about right now? This is your paradise. Oh, golly. But another commenter replied to that.
So I have a golden rule.
Oh, yes, please.
Just because your ex has an expiration date doesn't mean you can live with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king with the golden crown has done it again. History has been made here. But, dude, there hasn't been a new golden rule.
There hasn't been a golden rule in a while.
Yep.
Who can remember?
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
That seems more like a platinum rule, though.
Platinum rule?
Ooh.
A golden rule's sort of like, it's on the line.
This is the premium edition.
Yeah,
This is
good
the
stuff.
enter your card to subscribe edition.
You're welcome, America.
So a commenter replies, so just before the wedding, he expects to spend all of this time away from you and then just marry you without getting any warming up time to get to remember what it's like for you to be close to him.
He's had some warming up time.
Oh God, he's way too warm. He's got some rug burns without him getting any cooling down time after having lived like a husband with his other woman for most of a year. This would be entirely unacceptable to me. OP, I can't figure out a way to phrase this delicately, so I hope you forgive me for my bluntness. If this relationship ends, are you going to be financially okay? The emotional stuff is one thing. This has to be incredibly difficult, and I admire your composure. But just in terms of strictly physical, if he says, I'm old enough to love her the way I wanted to when we were younger and give up on marrying you, are you going to be able to make it? I hope that you're saving something aside for yourself, something not just in a joint account if there is one. Which,
prepare.
I mean, at this point, you gotta
prepare.
For this far, you gotta prepare. Also, super quick, I did know a person who, I don't know if he officially got engaged, but he was basically like, I am going to run around in these streets for a year and then like literally day before wedding, cut it, get married.
Wait.
So he was basically engaged,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I have 1 year. I'm going to run around and just sleep with as many people as possible for this year, right before I get married, and then boom, flip the switch, get married.
What did their partner think of that?
They didn't get married.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate that some people's idea of a bachelor/bachelorette party is last year of freedom. I hate that.
Bro, a bachelor party lasting a year?
Yeah, dude. Oh, God.
That's crazy.
Procrastination says he can stay in the streets.
Yeah,
Yep.
honestly. So OP replies to this. Trust me, I'm feeling far from composed right now, but thank you. If we're looking at the absolute worst case scenario, the relationship ending, then the money that we've saved for the wedding and the house could be split between us. So that's probably a decent chunk right there. That's the only money we've got in a joint account right now. Otherwise, we keep individual accounts. So I should have enough to remain on my feet if I end up on my own. But I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Great.
And we have the big update.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
I am ready.
Quick prediction. Conspiracy theory.
Oh, it's all going to come crashing down. He's going to confess his love to her, and then OP's going to be like, all right, I'm out. And then she's going to pass away. And then OP's going to and then he's going to come crawling back to OP and said, I always loved you more anyway. And then OP's going to be like, no, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Just to be contrarian, just to throw some hope in there, I'm going to say Max is like, I have been the biggest idiot on planet Earth through my actions. I apologize tremendously, and it's going to take a lot of time and actual work and action, and maybe they get back together.
You have a lot of faith.
I am employing all the faith I got in my body.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
Let's find out. Update. First off, thank you all so much for your advice and words of support. I'm sorry that I couldn't reply to every comment, reply, or personal message I got, but I woke up to a locked post and over 100 unread messages. I promise I did read through all of them. Each perspective was incredibly helpful and made me look at the situation in a completely different way from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I spoke to Max this morning.
Yes. All right, some communication.
Communication.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
And what does OP communicate? They say, I told him that as terrible as I feel for Caroline, I didn't want him living over there until February. We're getting there.
Hey, I like this, but the fact that Max was like, I'm going to do this makes me still not have faith in the relationship.
Max is for the past.
Max is for the past. Slant rhyme.
He's been maxed out, dude.
He's been maxed out.
We gotta close out that person.
Yeah.
Minimize Max.
Minimize him.
Ooh, minimize Max.
Nice, dude. Riley's on fire. Now I suggested that we brainstorm.
I love that.
I suggested we brainstorm some sort of schedule that allowed him to continue visiting her. Even
Crazy. No, that's crazy, bro.
Even postponing our own honeymoon and using the honeymoon money to fund his plane tickets.
Yo.
No. Wait.
No. Wait.
Oh.
We were doing good until we were doing bad again.
Yeah, Love to Eat says backbone growth, but probably is like 30 seconds behind where we are.
Yeah.
The backbone grew an inch and receded 4.
Love to Eat, hit that 2x.
Oh, my
hit
God.
That 2x.
Yeah, Love to Eat. Let us know what you think once you've heard this.
But babe, instead of going to Cancun, I could just visit my ex more.
Dude, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take the honeymoon money. Guess who's going to go on a honeymoon with?
Yep.
Stop.
Babe, she only has it's always been her dream, her bucket list to go to Bali with me and get married over there.
Dude. Also, just back to Sam's original conspiracy theory, and I hate to say it, guys, but we had this story like a lot in a row.
Yeah.
We haven't got the true confirmed receipts that the illness is.
That
100%.
is true. This is the time of Skype. Dude, if I had Skype, show me her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the treatments.
Yeah. I want to see the IV. I want to see. I want to see those MRIs.
I don't know. She's looking pretty healthy to me.
Yeah.
with these stories, bro, they might need to do that.
Yeah.
Golly. Several commenters brought up her moving over here for treatment. No. So I mentioned that as well, offering up our spare bedroom.
Why don't you just offer up your bed at this point? You know what? Yeah. Just move over. Just how about you take the spare bedroom and you know what? Have Caroline in the bed with you and your husband.
Our house and wedding money.
That's yours. Just you know what? How about you just say the I do's to her instead? Come on, OP.
You're just making it more convenient.
Where's the backbone? This is confusing. This is confusing.
You're making it more convenient for the husband to keep going
on. Oh my God. Demonic says noodle spine reactivated. The noodle is there. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I emphasized that I didn't fault him for wanting to help an old loved one in what could be her final days. I mean, you can fault him a lot.
Oh man. Oh.
But I couldn't help but feel marginalized, especially so close to our wedding.
Yeah, OP. Yeah.
But what is Max?
That feeling that you're feeling right now is totally normal. Again,
so normal.
Just because an ex has an expiration date doesn't mean they can walk all over your relationship.
Yes.
You know, ask yourself, would this be okay if she was not passing away?
Boom.
And then give a little bit of grace, and that's it.
And then stop.
And then stop.
And then
stop right there.
The end.
Stop right there.
Finito.
This is not okay. Please put up some boundaries to save your relationship, or don't, and I guess just let this husband show what a noodle case he is.
Well, what does Max have to say?
This is Ugg says low self-esteem.
We need some self-love.
We need some self-love. We need some self-esteem.
You deserve that.
An inability to put down boundaries is an inability to source and strengthen one's self-esteem, usually.
Well, what does Max say?
What does Max say?
Max didn't speak very much. Classic Max. Just listened while I rambled on. When I couldn't think of anything else to add, I asked him to just please say something.
I ran ahead.
No, get over it. Get it over with. Get it over with. Get it over with.
Okay.
Say it.
So he told me the truth. Caroline was never stage 4. She was stage 2.
Oh!
I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh!
I'm gonna say you called that.
Oh, stage 2. What does that mean?
That means they have two more. They have too much room to do anything else.
That is a lot more manageable.
Can we look up what the difference between?
From my understanding,
can we look up the survival rate for stage 2 versus stage 4 breast cancer?
Dude.
Oh,
and we know
man.
what's coming next.
Oh, yeah.
This is only the beginning of the avalanche.
We're trickled truth in,
experience.
y'all. We're trickled truth in.
Avalanche.
Justice Cassandra said you can recover from stage 2. Stage 2 breast cancer has 86% survival rate versus stage 4, which has a 30%. Also, just to look at that, that's a 30% after 5 years survival rate, even at stage 4.
So she might be alive for 5 years.
Exactly. 30% of them
if
are.
She was at stage 4, she's at stage 2.
86%.
Right now.
86%.
Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna be giving him colon cancer because I'm gonna rip him a new one.
Oh, get him, Riley. Riley's here with the
He's
zingers
on fire today. Dude, watching Riley produce is like watching Picasso paint a painting.
That is true.
Watching
That is
Michelangelo put a brush on a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, man.
Or just like get that little wiener on the statue of David just right, you know?
Dude, that little
dink.
it's done.
Not too scary.
He's kissing it.
Yeah, exactly. Not too intimidating. It's like, oh, dude, I got something on the statue
That's why they're
of David.
small, John.
Hey, can somebody clip that? I didn't say anything. He reassured me that the rest of the story is true.
Oh, yeah. Believe everything
It's all
else I
safe.
have
It's
to
all
say.
good. Don't worry. It's cool. We're great. Caroline asking him to be with her, the initial surgery being unsuccessful, her cancer, her chemo treatment plan, etc., etc. But apparently her chances of survival are far greater than he led me to believe. Max said he lied because he felt it was the only way I could understand his need to be with her. You are telling on yourself.
What if you
telling
just told the truth?
Dude.
Again, we've already had, I feel like, a couple red flags already.
Oh, yeah.
This is another one.
Oh.
OP, look at the flags in front of you.
Dude.
And look at their color.
Yeah.
And listen, please.
Yep. Do you want to say I do to someone that's been lying so much?
You can't even trust their I do's.
Not at all. He thought that if her situation seemed less dire than literally life or death, I wouldn't agree to him essentially moving across the country.
Yeah, no crap.
Exactly.
You are telling on yourself.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah, you were like, well, I had to manipulate you or you weren't going to let me see my ex-girlfriend.
You wouldn't let me leave you, my fiance, to go live with the girl that I married 8 years ago, and then we got divorced. Dude. And way less, my argument, way less painful to just rip off the Band-Aid and be like, hey, she wants me back, I'm leaving. So what she knows, okay, this happened, I can now start the healing process. Yep. She's been stuck in the most painful limbo ever. And he's not even giving it to her now.
He's not even done.
Like
he's saying this as a way to like repair the relationship.
Yes. If you're going to do that, the bare minimum you could do is like actually communicate and help her move on.
And this is what you're saying. Why not just go with Caroline?
Yeah.
You know, you seem to like her a lot.
She has an 86% chance to keep going.
Yeah.
You already know how to take care of her.
And now she's a cancer survivor, hopefully.
Yeah, dude, that gives her more clout.
Model cancer survivor.
Bro, she's going to get more jobs. She's going to get more rich. Bro,
yeah.
This is the option.
Again, we're not saying...
Sorry, OP.
We're not saying that this is a better option than OP, to be clear. I'm just saying, like, there were just easier things than just manipulating OP and putting yourself in this limbo. Like, this is the worst option.
Yeah.
He wants to...
if you're going to be a piece of crap, at least be upfront about it.
Be smart. Be smarter.
Be smart. He wants to have his cake and eat it out, too. That's what he wants. Hashtag eat out the rich. Never let that die.
Thank you.
Yeah, OP needs to grow back, man. This guy is terrible. Leave.
He admitted to telling her that our wedding date had postponed to next August.
Oh, my.
A lie From February to August, a lie.
He's lying on both sides.
Dude, giving her the impression that him being away until February would be no problem. He has also been the one insisting on remaining by her side. After her surgery, she had given him permission to return home, and also
given him permission. Dude, you know what I think?
Tell me.
I think Caroline isn't even that into OP's husband. But it's like the closest thing that she has, and like totally friend zoned him. But OP's husband's just biting at the bit, trying to get in a relationship with her. But Caroline's the one like, hey, like, you know, like, you should go home to your wife. He's like, no. I can be there for you.
Because I think she said initially it was like she didn't really have any family members. So that initial moment of like, I feel alone, I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Who am I going to go to? But literally the closest thing I can find.
Yep.
Which also, where's your friends? But even beside the point. And then he saw his opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Caroline, though crazy to ask, was maybe thought it was okay in her eyes.
Yeah. Just reconnect.
Because she's like, oh, this is just a friend.
Wait a minute. I read this messed up story. Basically, this girl, I think this is what Max is doing. This girl was really close to her sister. She passed away and then got with her boyfriend 6 months later. 3 years later, he did something really messed up, thinking it would make her go back into her depressed mood because he was the knight in silver armor or shiny armor.
Right.
And he liked that whenever she was kind of a damsel in distress, always moody, and he was like always lifting her up. He might like this part of Caroline and wants to stay around it because he's like, she's dependent on me. I can provide for her.
Yeah, savior complex.
Yes.
Savior complex.
Dude.
Kitticus Catechus says, Sam, you're on it. I bet that's 100% help. She needed the help, and now she's ready for him to go. Hero complex, says Jellyba. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a combination.
Just when you thought this guy couldn't be doing it worse.
Yeah, dude.
It's somehow
this is
layers.
This is
layers.
Dude, I cannot. I am enthralled. This is a top tier story right here. Top tier.
She had given him permission to return home, saying that it wouldn't be fair to pressure him into living with her throughout her entire chemo treatment. As much as she would have liked him there, he refused to leave. He told her that I supported this decision fully. By the way, if you want to support us fully, if you want to listen to 2,000 episodes of bangers, just like this, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app, search OK Storytime. We got 2,000 apps for you. But gentlemen, we got a decent little chunk left here.
Okay.
Shall we dive in?
Let's hit it.
Yeah. Max swears that he's not in love with her still, but I just can't believe that. He lied to my face. Before she visited our apartment back in May, he warned me not to mention her being stage 4 as she is still extremely sensitive about it. And I completely bought into that lie.
Wow.
I trusted him. What a crazy thing to trust your fiance. Who would have thunk? He put his past with her over his future with me.
Oh, bars. Bar.
I will be spending the next few months apartment hunting and canceling the wedding plans.
Get that big house, OP.
We got there.
Get that big house.
We got it. It was a long, painful journey, but we did arrive at our intended destination.
Let's freaking go.
Thank you for all of your kind words. And edit, I'm blown away by the outpouring of support I'm receiving. I wish I could respond to each of you individually. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful community, and I appreciate all of your thoughts. And there's some relevant comments too. OP says, if they end up back together, then best of luck to them. For all of Max's faults, he's technically been loyal to her throughout all of this. Oh, dude, OP is too nice. Too nice. I guess I'm just past caring. My goal now is to be out of this apartment before he comes home. I don't ever want to see him again.
I want to know what's going to happen to Max and Caroline.
Yeah, there's no more updates.
There's no more updates.
Yeah.
We do have some relevant comments, though. Hopefully we get a little tidbit. Commenter number 1, Caroline seems like a nice human. I bet she will see that he screwed his future over in hopes of rekindling a past romance. I will bet good fake money that she will tell him off eventually and he will come crawling back to you begging for forgiveness. No decent person can keep a booty cleaner like that and have a clean conscience. Commenter number 2, I can't figure out what his motive might be other than trying to get back with his ex. Commenter number 2, you're a regular Sherlock Holmes over there.
We're doing like gymnastics, man, to find out what this could be other than that.
So what would it be? Commenter number 3, how did he take the breakup? OP replies, he kept apologizing to me, not very sincerely though. He sounded tired, and when I said that I'd be moving out as soon as possible, he replied, yeah, that's probably for the best. Yeah, we know that's what you think. We know that. We know that.
Yeah, I do think.
Cooking on it?
I do think.
Tell me.
I mean, he's not mad because he's got something set up with Caroline already.
And was it the whole plan all along to just keep pushing OP until
until she was the one that was like, I don't want this anymore. Because it's easier to push someone away than to say, I don't want to do this.
Because he says, let's push the wedding back so I can stay with her and live with her for a few months. That is, I am a shrimpy jelly spine, and I just want to be a horrible person to you to force you to break up with me. That is exactly what that is reading. The one thing he asked for was my ring.
Recycle, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. Reuse that ring on Caroline and stop trading blood diamonds.
Well, we can make a golden rule about rings.
Yeah.
Like if they're heirloom, you give it back. If you end amicably, you give it back. If not, it's yours, girl.
I don't think so. I think you give it back regardless.
You have to really, really F over, because, dude, that's...
What? Dude.
If they steal money from you.
Well, then it's just like a tit for tat.
But, like, he's going to give it to Caroline.
Huh?
He's just going to give the ring to Caroline.
I think, let him do that. Let her rummage through your past relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think you keep
that's
the ring.
that's a lot.
That's petty. That's petty over self-care, because that's just going to give... He's going to be mad at you, and then he's going to try to go after you. He might sue you. I think that would suck.
Oh, yeah. I guess you technically... You can't do that because there's no marriage.
Duchess Cassandra says legally, once it's given, the fiance owns the ring. Is that true?
Really?
Is that true? Oh, it is a gift. Is a ring a gift? I'm in support of the idea that a ring is a gift.
It's a gift, or is it a loan to you? I'm going to put this loan down.
Ooh.
That you're mine.
Yeah, is a ring a gift or a loan? Because I've always heard of it as you give the ring and then they give it back to you if they don't want to marry you.
The marriage is the contract. When you actually get married, that is like both like legally and morally the thing that makes it not a gift anymore.
As long as that not a loan anymore or a gift?
That it's not a loan anymore. It becomes a gift essentially.
I agree. I think it becomes a gift on marriage. It's a loan up until then.
Can we poll it? I'm curious. I see a lot of people saying gift.
Gift or loan. I would love to know in the comments.
Us versus chat today.
I mean, I've never really thought about this, because usually people are like, I hate you, and throw the ring at them. Is a ring a gift or a loan? Let us know.
Let us know. But we're going to keep going here. So the one thing he asked for was my ring, which I agreed to mail to Caroline's address. I'm realizing that he checked out of this relationship a while ago.
Wow.
Also, the ring was not an heirloom. I looked at that, and she plans on going no contact with him. That's in the comments. So I skimmed them, and that was the only two other things.
Right. So far the votes are coming in early, but Chad is saying a gift, aka if they split, then she can keep the ring. Essentially, is the idea.
Here we go. How about this?
Yeah.
I think here's a rule. Chat, let me know if you agree with this. If you propose to someone and give the ring, and the person who proposes breaks off the wedding by being unfaithful or just breaking off, then maybe the person gets to keep it. But if the other person breaks off the wedding by being unfaithful or just because they give it back.
I guess, like, if we use that logic on the story, it does apply where Caroline can keep the ring. Because he's the one
who broke it off and was like,
he essentially broke the contract of like, hey, we're going to get married.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to live with my ex-wife for several months.
That being said, I think the best thing, like in all cases, would just be to give it back to avoid drama.
Yeah,
I think that would be best. But chat's 83% gift.
Team gift.
Yeah, team gift. Interesting.
There it
I
is.
think I'm more team loan.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm team loan.
I'm team loan.
Crucify me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let us know.
But that's where I'm at right now. But that's all we got for that story.
My ex-husband is upset that I'm not over our divorce yet because he cheated on me.
Get over it.
And this is from the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And trigger warning, mentions of DV. I, 47 female now, was married to a very challenging man for 15 years. Let's call him Judas. Be an apt name. He, 42 male, could not stop using corn and had terrible spending habits and a pretty bad temper. It wasn't always like that, but it had built up over the years. By the way, this comes from No Interview 3097. And if you want to submit your stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, in early December 2023, he started going to the gym and his mood started to change. He was starting to feel good about himself and paying attention to me, which made me feel good about myself. I thought that our marriage was finally turning around. This was what I had been praying for. Usually in these stories, when someone starts going to the gym and turning themselves around, they just might be cheating. Yeah. This got better and better over the next month. On January 16th, 2024, he asked me to send him a spicy picture of myself, and I did. I had done this throughout our marriage whenever he asked for one. During the day, he wrote to me several times about how he loved the picture and how he couldn't wait to get home. The next day, January 17th, he was paying a lot of attention to his phone and texting a lot. I just assumed he was talking with the guys from work. On January 18th, I sent him a new spicy picture, and he didn't say anything. I asked him if he liked it, and he said, yup. That was when things started to go so differently. Yup. Over the last 15 years, he had come in and kissed me goodbye before work. That stopped. Every day for the last 15 years, he had come home from work and kissed me hello. He stopped doing that too. I tried to put my arm around him and he pulled away. This went on for a month and it felt very weird in the house until Valentine's Day. He didn't say Happy Valentine's Day or buy me a gift. A few days later, Sunday afternoon, we were on the couch watching TV. He sat up, paused it, and looked at me. He told me that he thought we were no longer happy and he wanted to talk about getting a divorce. I was totally blindsided. He said that he didn't think we should get separated, that we should divorce. He said he never loved me and didn't feel like our marriage was worth fighting for.
Whoa.
How do you never love someone you've been in a 15-year marriage for, you know?
Yeah, like that can't be true.
It's just like lies.
Yeah.
My heart was broken. I couldn't believe it. I asked him if there was someone else and he said, yes. I asked him who and he mentioned a friend he had known since high school. Let's call her Jezebel. I wonder why. She had been the maid of honor at our wedding. Oh,
Stop
maid
it.
of dishonor.
Dishonor. Dishonor on your family.
On your cow. Worse than that, she had been my best friend for years until I got fat. She said, I don't hang out with fat people. Well,
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
hang out with mean people.
What?
This was a surprise to me. He had mentioned to her over the last month about helping her move out of her boyfriend's house because they broke up and that my ex-husband wanted to spend time with her sons, both adults, because they had a bad relationship with their own father. My ex said he only had 3 questions. 1, when can he move out? 2, how will we split things financially? 3, how will we set up visitation? We have a 14-year-old daughter, 13 at the time. Wow. I was devastated. He moved out the next day. He moved in with his parents about 15 minutes from us. Before he left, he asked if he could talk to our daughter alone, which I thought was fine. I found out later that he told her this was mutual, that we weren't in love anymore and had just grown apart. My ex went to work the next day and told everyone he had left me, that I had been an amazing wife, caring, loving, faithful, and forgiving, but that he didn't want to be married to me anymore. I mean, at least he did that much. Like, awful guy. But at least he didn't, like, crap talk you, you know?
True.
He told a few people that he had to wait a while, but he was going to get to be with Jezebel. Here's the thing. No one likes Jezebel. Yeah. Of course they don't. She was very manipulative and took advantage of people. My ex decided that anyone who didn't like the idea of him leaving me for her was his enemy. He told his cousin Tom, who was one of his best friends, that he had left me. When Tom told him this was the wrong decision, he cut Tom off and doesn't talk to him anymore. He only came over a week later to discuss finances. It was a trick. He had the divorce papers and asked me to fill them out with him that moment so he could file them the next day. The next several months were the worst of my life. 2 weeks before my Judas left, our dog Lucky passed away.
Oh.
We had adopted him 12 years ago. He was honestly the best dog in the world. 2 weeks after my Judas left, a friend from church, who I was really counting on for emotional support, OD'd and passed away alone in his room. He had been clean for a year. Oh. I was on my knees for hours a day asking God to please free me from the pain and bring my ex home. Our poor daughter Vanjie was lost and I was lost. Before this, I was always in a good mood. I was never down. I just feel joy all the time. Now I was not myself. I cried all the time. I didn't smile and I didn't laugh. Vanjie didn't know how to help me and seemed overwhelmed by my sadness. I had my first panic attack in my life in line at Target. I was squatting down on the floor, completely freaking out. I apologized to her over and over about her having to hear me and see me so down. During this time, my older daughter, 27 female, Coco, was cutting Vanjie's hair in our bathroom with the door closed. I didn't know what they were talking about. Later that week, Vanjie and I were driving to the Humane Society to look for a new dog, and she asked me a strange question. Not really strange, but worded in a strange way. I answered her, and she said, "Dad lied to me." She went on to tell me that Coco had told her that her father had cheated. I apologized over and over because I didn't think it was fair that she knew that. The next few months were so hard. Judas gave Jezebel my Amazon Prime account so she could use it? That is the worst offense.
Yeah.
Not the worst offense, but it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Pretty terrible. When I told him I didn't want him to use it for her, he said he paid for half so he could use it for her, and she wanted free shipping.
She should just cancel any any orders that go through.
Yeah, literally. He yelled at me for 25 minutes during that call. I told him I wanted to separate our finances. I had my bank account for 20 years and wanted him to start a new account. He yelled at me for 20 minutes during that call. After that, I stopped calling him, and I didn't see him or text him. I couldn't eat. I wasn't sleeping. I lost 40 pounds in 2 months. I had asked him to come to the gym with me for 15 years. He actually joined my gym and started going with Jezebel every day. This man won't give you a break.
Yeah, that's just
terrible.
Brutal.
I started going to a new gym closer to my house, so I had no excuse to miss and started working on my revenge bod. When I saw him at our first divorce hearing in April, I looked 100 times better than him, so at least 1+. I was standing in front of him in line for the clerk. He didn't even know it was me. I turned around because my pastor had agreed to come with me. Judas looked at my pastor and then turned and looked at me and said, "Oh crap." The exact reaction I had wanted.
All right.
Now my ex hadn't texted me or spoken to me in a couple of months, too busy with the mistress. Now he wanted to start emailing back and forth. Now don't think this is because he wanted to get back together. He had one thought, and that was Jezebel. The worst part was his ignoring of our daughter. Father's Day was heartbreaking. He wrote to Vanjie that night before and said, "You don't have to come over at all if you don't want to." Vanjie told him she did want to see him. I dropped her off Saturday night. My ex took her out to a very early breakfast and had her back to me by 9 a.m. Sunday.
9 a.m.
Father's Day.
That is the beginning of the day.
She didn't even get a stay for Father's Day?
Yeah.
My sister-in-law said that they saw him at 9:30 going somewhere with Jezebel. He ditched our daughter on Father's Day to spend the day with his mistress.
Oh.
I was doing a lot better, weight training 5 days a week with a trainer. I was getting ready for an obstacle race later on in the summer.
Wow.
Our final divorce hearing was by phone, and when the judge asked if we were certain we wanted to finalize our divorce, we had to take turns. He said, "I guess so." Those words haunted me. It gave me some hope in my heart, but it wasn't real. Judas was turning into a master manipulator. I had a date the same night as our final hearing. The really good-looking guy from church told me that he had the hots for me and would come over and comfort me.
Wow.
Okay. I hadn't made out in years. It was very nice and healing.
All right.
Yeah,
Look at you go.
I didn't think things could get worse, but they did. Vanjie and I were trying to live our lives, and I was focusing on my relationship with God and with Vanjie. I wanted to spend the year being the best mom and the best me. I had tried therapy, And after 6 sessions, I had to change therapists because it wasn't a good fit.
Mm.
Judas was a really hands-off dad, at least of Angie. He spent a lot of time with Jezebel's kids. Even though they were adults, he had to step up and take their dad's place.
Oh my gosh.
What about stepping up and taking your own place as a father? That's when he started to tell me things, like that Jezebel's ex-husband, Robbie, was suddenly a wife herder. Jezebel decided that she would tell everyone that he had hurt her their entire marriage and that he was a child predator. I had known Jezebel and Robbie for 18 years, and there was never any indication or suspicion of him hurting her. She had told me when we were friends that she hurt him. Judas ended up telling everyone that, and people found this hard to believe. But the Hate Jezebel's ex-husband campaign started. Now, this next part is going to be a little complicated. My ex had another best friend, someone he worked with named Daniel. Daniel and his wife Amanda have a party every summer, and my ex and I went to it. It was so fun, and we loved everyone. This year, instead, Daniel and Amanda were going to renew their vows. My ex was supposed to bring our 13-year-old daughter. The issue was Vanjie told their father that she didn't want to meet or see Jezebel. He had respected her wishes and didn't make Vanjie see Jezebel. Here was the issue. Jezebel's ex-husband used to work for the same company and was also coming to the vow renewal.
What?
This is a little complicated.
Yeah.
Judas also wanted to bring Jezebel and our daughter. He said to me, if Vanjie wants to come to the party, she'll have to see Jezebel because I'm bringing her. Now, I didn't love it, but Vanjie would see how awful Jezebel was. She wasn't just mean, she was disgusting. She used to talk about spicy things she used to do to Robbie in front of their kids in very graphic ways when they were just little kids, like 8 and 10. Then the real reason Jezebel and Judas wanted to go to this party came out. Jezebel had convinced my ex to have a physical fight with Robbie in front of everyone, in front of our daughter? What? Huh? I found this out from Robbie and other people from their work. Why are they talking about this with people from their work?
I don't know.
Judas got mad at Daniel for refusing to uninvite Robbie, and everyone hated Jezebel, so they ended up not going. Good. No one watched you there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why are you trying to stick around with people who like don't like you?
Right.
You're probably thinking that it can't get worse. Well, you'd be wrong. Oh no.
No.
The worst thing was Vanjie's 14th birthday in mid-October. We were having a party and I did not want my ex to come, but he was welcome to come over the night before, Friday, or any time before the party on Saturday. All Judas said was he couldn't because his plans were already scheduled for him. That means Jezebel wouldn't let him see his own daughter the entire weekend. Jezebel had always been jealous of other women, and people warned me she'd be jealous of Vanjie too. I didn't believe my ex would let this happen. I mean, how much lower can he stoop?
Yeah.
I was definitely wrong. That was verified the next week when it was my ex's birthday. He was supposed to spend it with Vanjie. It was his night with her, but he canceled it to spend with Jezebel. After that, Vanjie changed. She said she didn't want to see her dad for a while, and she called me from school saying she wanted to hurt herself.
No.
She stopped going over to see him and became very depressed. I called her dad and told him that she wanted to hurt herself, and he said life's tough everywhere. What? The next thing he said was about Jezebel not being able to be with him because she was too effed up right now.
Jeez, man.
I could see how her not seeing her dad was hurting Vanjie. She was sad, and I knew she missed him. I decided to ask if he could come over and see her at our place. He asked if we could all play a game together, and we did. He said he missed rushing home to watch Christmas movies. I wish I hadn't stepped in. This would have saved me a lot of pain. Now it's November 2024, and Judas is texting me randomly over the last couple of months saying things like, I should have held your hand more. I should have been more loving and put my arms around you more. Block.
Block.
I mean, you can't probably actually block him because child, but block.
Right.
Back off. Don't let him trick you.
Don't.
He also mentioned that he could tell my body was changing from going to the gym. I am ignoring the majority of these types of messages. I don't want to get pulled in. What about that guy that you met at church?
Yeah.
Let's go hang out with him.
Exactly.
We were texting normally about daily things, but one day it stopped. Jezebel must have seen we were texting and finally decided that they could be together. This is when we ended up having to go no contact. Judas called me to tell me that he and Jezebel were going to go to an event he and our family went to every year on our anniversary. That Jezebel chose the date, but it was just a coincidence that it was our anniversary. Or maybe she did that on purpose.
I think so.
I let him call me later that week when I was at the gym. I decided that I no longer wanted to have any kind of relationship with him. He and Jezebel were terrible people. Judas said, "Since this is the last time we're going to talk, you might as well say what you want to say." I did. I said I think she's a homewrecker, and I pray all the time she gets what she deserves. He lost it. He said he hoped that God got me, and that I was happy she was hurt every day of her marriage with Robbie. That I was happy that she and her kids were starving. Her new claim that she and her adult children didn't have enough money to eat. Her adult children? Adult children?
They can work.
That I hoped he passed away and wouldn't be happy until he was in the ground. I never said any of this. I actually said, "Is this what you're actually hearing me say?" He was also mad that I wasn't dating. I assumed to ease his own guilt. I said I was still mourning, and he said, "Why aren't you over this yet?" I finally hung up on him after he went into how I was the villain in his story, and she was my victim.
Wild.
I blocked his phone number, blocked him on Facebook and any other social media. I had time to heal and get better. Now we're going to fast forward. There is a lot more, but it would take too much space. Jezebel leaves Judas right after Valentine's Day. He tells our daughter, and she tells me she left him. Now, I have been dating, but just going out on dates, nothing serious. I felt like I wasn't ready. No matter how mean he had been, I still thought about my ex a lot. Now that Jezebel was out of the picture, he was spending a lot more time with our daughter. Vanjie was so happy. She was getting his entire attention. Now it's April 2025, and last Sunday, Judas says he picked up Vanjie around 1 to take her to dinner. I thought it was a bit weird, but I was so happy he was spending time with her. After a few hours, I was concerned because it had been a while and I hadn't heard from her. I did a Find My, and they were in a town 60 miles away.
Whoa.
I asked Evie, I think that's the older daughter, if everything was okay. She said yes, and they would be home at 10. It was a school night. Vanjie came in, and I knew that something wasn't right. I said, "Did your dad have you at a new girlfriend's house?" She, of course, told me the truth. And a moment later, Judas texted me and said he had something important to discuss, and could he call me? The update was that after Valentine's Day, Jezebel broke things off. She had tricked him. She never wanted a relationship with him. She told him they were dating and he was her boyfriend, so he would buy her things. He paid her bills and bought her a truck. He also paid to remodel her old house and do the work. Judas also paid for the materials to remodel her new house and did all the work for free. He said I must be happy that he had gotten what he deserved. I didn't feel happy. Now, as soon as Jezebel was gone, he decided to do online dating. He had gone on a few dates and found this new woman. They had been on 6 dates and had known each other a month and a half, and now were ready to meet each other's kids. No. You gotta make sure that your daughter is protected in this situation. I didn't know why I was finding this out after the fact, but here we were. He decided he was moving to this town 60 miles away and wanted me to know visitation wouldn't change. Which actually, maybe they don't have full visitation. She doesn't have full custody then.
Yeah, maybe.
He also wanted me to know that he didn't regret divorcing me and that he didn't mourn our marriage. We had a few good times. This man is flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Every time he sees you and he wants to get back together with you, he's like, "Oh, I love you," or I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, "Actually, I didn't care about you at all. I don't love you."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, actually, I'm going to move far away. I'm going to lie about all this. I'm going to cheat on you.
That he wasn't the man I needed, but he was changing now for this new woman. That she was so nice and was so nice to Vanjie. And if I wanted to meet her, I could. How did I let this happen to me again? How did I let this complete monster come back around and stab me again? Then he starts talking about, why am I not dating? You'd be happier if you were with someone. I was with someone before, and it turned into a dumpster fire. Earlier in the week, Judas called our daughter and said, "On Thursday, do you want to do the same old thing we do and spend the night at Grandma and Grandpa's? Or do you want to go with me to spend the night in the place that I'm moving to?" Vanjie told him that she would rather go with him to his new girlfriend's house. I found out later that he didn't mean he would leave Vanjie and go without her.
Oh, what? What?
Judas called me randomly the next day to say something unrelated to Vanjie. Now I had held my tongue for this past year. I had been betrayed and hurt repeatedly. I finally said what was on my mind. That our entire marriage was not bad. That at the end it was getting better until Jezebel came into it. That it was unfair of him to say things to me to hurt my feelings. Now he did gaslight me and said, "That's what you heard, but not what I said."
Ugh.
It didn't matter. I got to say my feelings, finally. I told him I wasn't comfortable with Vanjie, our daughter, spending the night at his new girlfriend's house. Vanjie doesn't know her, and quite frankly, he barely knew her. Judas said to me, "With all due respect, it's none of your business." He also told me his version of Father's Day. He was the victim. He remembers Vanjie ditching him on that day and not even texting him Happy Father's Day. Dude, you literally dropped her off in the morning.
Yeah, what? Like, you guys were hanging out on Father's Day. She doesn't need to send you another text.
I just sighed. He was never going to see anything clearly. I mean, he's never going to put any of the blame on himself. He's just going to like try and find workarounds in his brain to blame someone else.
Exactly.
So to last night, Vanjie went with him to his girlfriend's house 60 miles away. My friend from church, Alice, came over to do a girls' night so I could get some sleep. I hadn't slept well all week because of the things he said. This morning, Vanjie arrived exhausted at 6 a.m. She hadn't gone to bed until 10:30. They didn't eat until 9 p.m. Vanjie isn't used to that. She was woken up at 4 a.m. to make it back here by 5:15 so Judas could get to work at 5:30. They didn't make it. Now we have a new dog and she barks loud at the slightest noise. I wanted to see if I could get ahead of it and did a search on Life 360 to see when Vanjie would be here. They were traveling at 85 miles an hour to get back here. Whew. Anyway, she was so tired, so I said, "Go back to sleep for a bit and I'll drive you to school." I tried to wake her up an hour later and she was still exhausted. I said, "You can't miss school every Friday because you're going to visit your dad every Thursday night." Yeah, because he's 60 miles away.
Yeah.
That is when she told me she explained to her dad that she didn't want to sleep there during the week anymore. By the way, I got to explain to you that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Book Storytime. I did get a text right after that with Judas saying the same thing. He also wanted me to know that I'm not sure what she'll tell you, but we all had a fun time. Normally, I wouldn't even think to say that to you, but now it seems like she may fib once in a while. This was about Vanjie. That if she didn't say they had a good time, she was lying. So here's my question. Should I be over this? Should I feel fine about these things? Am I supposed to be over the betrayal? Is it odd that I want him to say he regrets what he did? Is it odd to wish it had turned out differently? And that is the end of the story.
My wife treats me like garbage while I raise our daughter alone.
Well, you know what people do with garbage?
What?
They take it out.
That's true. Trigger warning, some physical, emotional coming up. If you want to skip that, go to the next one. Let's dive in. There we go. Okay, so things have been steadily going south for a while now, so I'll condense as much as I can. On mobile, so pardon any errors or formatting issues. We had our daughter last year while I was in the military. She was living in another state due to her National Guard duties. Because of that, I only saw my newborn daughter on the weekends. Oh.
That's not a lot of time.
But this comes from Owl Feet. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. My wife had the full responsibility to care for the baby, but her other kids from a previous relationship were a big help, and some days took care of the baby 100%.
Dang.
That's what I call outsourcing. When I came up on the weekends, of course, I cared for her 100%. I did everything I could to help my wife rest. Fast forward 2.5 months, I got out of the military, moved to her state, and then I basically assumed full care of our daughter. She said that once I felt how 2.5 months of being a single parent was, we could do a 50-50 or as close as we could get. That time never came. My daughter is now almost a year old. I don't remember the last time she made a bottle or changed a diaper. Every time I bring it up, she refuses to even watch her, even if I just wanted to shower.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when we have stories where the parent, like one parent, is not even letting the other parent do basic needs.
Now, she did have a month where she took care of her while I had a job, but she mostly used her kids until I got off. Now, I was working odd hours, 2 to 4 a.m., and 1 to 2 p.m. She made me quit so she could get a job. Now I'm back home being a dad to 3 kids. I love my stepkids like my own, but still, 3 kids are a handful. I haven't had a night off in forever, while she goes out at least once a week with her friends to the club, and she's been out to lunch, quote unquote, with a single male friend of hers a couple of times that I know of. Multiple times, she comes home way later than she said without even a call or a quick text, and a few times she's almost missed work because of her hangouts. She works on nights. If I ask to go out, I get ridiculed. Man. Her excuse is that she doesn't trust the other women out there, and it's different with her because she mainly goes to Spanish clubs. Since she can't speak Spanish, she can't be tempted to cheat. This is horse crap since she had a Mexican boyfriend a couple of years ago and they were together for a while. Not only is she controlling in that regard, using me to watch the kids while she goes and has fun, she forbids me from drinking booze, going out by myself, I need her permission, spending any money on myself when all my checks went to her, not necessarily to the family, and even having friends. I had a friend at work that I was texting about random crap, and she flipped out and forbade me from texting him. My goodness, I am stressed out beyond all relief. I have no release. I can't do the things I used to enjoy. Playing guitar, for example, it gives her a headache. Oh man, I am not happy. She is harmful physically, verbally, and emotionally. I am not a saint. I call her names when we argue, but I've never hit her. I was raised better than that. She has no qualms about getting physical, though. She constantly tells me I'm a crappy husband, but I don't see how I can be better. I rub her feet when she asks, more like demands, usually daily. I stop what I'm doing to make her food or run out to get her what she wants. She calls me to come up and change the movie on the TV that's 7 feet away from her because she doesn't want to get up.
You have to leave.
Dude, leave.
This is just, yeah.
And also, I'm sorry, but remotes. Remotes exist.
Remotes, and also you actually have to leave her because this is just terrible situation. And also she's not, it's massively, and also, I mean, she's not helping in any way.
No.
I mean, what even is there here for you to stay for?
Yeah, there's nothing. She is completely controlling and
yeah.
I watch the kids and I monitor the noise so she can sleep. I wash the clothes and make sure she wakes up on time for work. When she goes out, I hardly even mention the fact that I would like a break. Heck, even this morning, my daughter was fussing because of her teeth and wouldn't stop for anything I tried. My wife got annoyed and came down. Oh, I'm allergic to this woman. Demanding to know what I was doing to her. Once I explained why she was crying, I made the mistake of saying, "You take care of her then. I could use a break." Her response, "Excuse me? A full night's sleep should be enough of a break." Dude, come on.
A full night's, she's like, you get to sleep.
You get to sleep. Who needs, when you shower, when you use the bathroom and you need me to hold the baby? No. You've slept.
Is she Amazon? Like, what are these work hours?
You know what? He needs to learn how to use the bathroom and shower
on the job
when he's sleeping. He needs to learn how to train himself how to sleepwalk.
The bed.
So, yeah, exactly.
It's terrible.
Oh my God. The only breaks I get are the occasional weekend when my daughter goes to her faux grandma's house. I guess maybe a grandma figure.
Yeah.
And the kids go with their grandma or to their dad's. On those weekends, she goes out and I have to stay home alone. I've been thinking about a divorce since I don't see how this relationship can be salvaged. She is diagnosed with being bipolar, having depression. Her personality screams self-absorbed. The old saying, love is blind, can't be more true. The only thing stopping me is my daughter. My wife has told me that if I try to take her, she will label me as wow. We're going to dive in more in a second, but just real quick on that, I would start recording everything.
I was about to say
ASAP.
Yeah, get as much, go reach out to your friends, find text messages wherever she's said things verbally, record, get as many receipts as you can, and then go get a lawyer.
She told me that she will have our kids say whatever she tells them, and I would never see my daughter again, and good luck proving she is an unfit mother.
Yeah, record. Start recording. I mean, there's not many situations, there's some situations that we've read where people record, and you're like, I don't know if we should do that. This is a case where you should record.
It's beyond that point.
Yeah.
You have endured.
This is your safety.
Yeah. Once it's a matter of safety, the whole scenario completely changes.
Absolutely.
I have to try to compile evidence before I get out with my daughter. Am I just being selfish? Can this marriage be saved? Feel free to ask questions. I will try to provide any answers I can. And wouldn't you know, we have an update.
This marriage cannot be saved.
This marriage cannot. And why is that, Sophia?
Because you should save yourself.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have the update where hopefully hope he's getting out. and about to live his best life. So, update. Not sure if anyone remembers my post or not. I sure do from 5 seconds ago. But I feel I owe it to everyone who responded. So here's my update. I am on my way to visit my parents with my daughter. This is basically 4 weeks of a breather between us. I don't know what will happen. I'm scared, physically sick, and close to tears. However, I know this is what needs to be done. Everyone I talked to said I needed to at least go visit my parents. I have discussed my wife's behavior, and the consensus is that she is controlling and manipulative. The fact that I was paralyzed by fear of her and physically sick shows how broken I am and how emasculated she made me. The physical stopped, but the verbal was increased. She would yell over the smallest things, scream names at me in front of the kids. The other day, I went to dinner and forgot jalapenos on her sandwich. She belittled me until I went to go get her some.
Go get your own jalapenos.
Dude, you see these? You see this? It's called hands in a mouth.
These legs? Go walk over there and get your own jalapenos.
Use them. At that point, she called me stupid, got mad at me for going to get them. As I shut the door, a resounding "I effing hate you" followed me. After I got back, about 5 minutes later, she refused to eat her sandwich and let it go to waste. Anyways, I'm on my way, and hopefully I can find my masculinity in these 4 weeks. And we have update number 2. I think we've arrived at the parents' place. Let's see what happens. Hey everyone, it's been a month or so since the last update. Had to make a new account since my old one got compromised. Okay, so a lot of crap has happened. First and foremost, I feel that the visit with my parents was extremely healing for both my daughter and me. Yes.
This is why we need support systems.
Yes.
People who love you and want to protect you and want to help you.
Because imagine if OP didn't have his parents.
And a lot of people don't have those support systems, and that's why they think that this type of treatment is okay and they stay in it. It's like, nope.
Yes, absolutely. So she loves my mom to death. She progressed incredibly fast after we got to my parents. She went there on the bottle, crawling, and had major separation anxiety with me. She is now off the bottle, using sippy cups, eating real food, walking, and is totally comfortable if I leave the room, though sometimes she tries to follow me.
Hey!
That's cute and yay.
This is good.
A couple of days after we got there, I received a letter in the mail from a lawyer soliciting his services, referencing a case number, and telling me divorce is hard, but I don't have to do it alone. Yep, the very next day after I left, she filed for divorce, and I found out days before I got served the papers. Dang.
Wow.
But
she filed for divorce?
She filed for divorce, so I don't understand the logic, but this is actually, I feel like, great. The fact it was done so fast means she had this planned and waiting. So my vacation turned into a game of catch up, finding a lawyer, figuring out what to do, and basically being stressed out. Being away from that toxic environment, away from the ridicule, I saw how bad it really was. It wasn't just me and the kids, but other people in my wife's life as well. I was basically a prisoner, but I loved her still, even after all she did and said. A part of me still does, and probably always will. It honestly sounds like Stockholm Syndrome. Now that I'm away, hopefully the damage can be healed.
It will be. It just takes time.
Yeah, it takes time and
therapy.
like... Yeah. Oh man, OP, you should,
Yeah.
I would highly recommend getting a therapist.
Yeah.
Now, OP says, I found out from some sources that she has been demonizing me to everyone here. I almost read demonetizing.
She's been demonetizing
She demonetized me. Dang.
I'm not getting any money from this post.
Oh God. She's been bad-mouthing me and trying to get my stepkids to hate me. Apparently, my stepdaughter, 6 female, has been having nightmares since I left. She's always asking when I'll be back and voiced her concerns that her sister won't remember her. Oh, that is so sad. When asked why she thought that, she said, that's what my wife told them. She's 6 years old. That is not the right thing to tell her. It broke my heart to hear how she had been treated, how she has to listen to her mom yell about me. What's effed up is that I was coming back on the 7th of April. My wife knew. I emailed her my flight information. I pushed my return date back about a week to get there right before the court date after I found out she had filed for divorce. She removed me from our joint bank account. Don't know how she did that, but when I log in, it says I have no account linked to my profile, and sold one of our cars.
I mean, just take stock of all of that and say,
Yes.
When you get to the court hearing, you say, she removed me from the bank account that both of us have been putting money in, and show that you've been putting money in, or that you talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, like, we had this car that we both bought, that maybe both of our names were on. She sold that.
Yes. It all helps, like, tell
Yeah.
the true story of what she's putting you through.
Exactly.
So, a terrible thing to happen, but the silver lining of using that to get the best divorce for you possible, get as much custody and everything for you. I have no family in Indiana, few friends that are all my wife's friends or family, no money, no transportation, and no place to stay. She did all of that after she filed for divorce. She seems to think I have no rights and she will get everything while I get effed 6 ways to Sunday. Don't know what will come of that. I kept in contact with her only over email, so I have a record of our conversations.
Good.
There we go. Yeah, email is smart. That's a good way to keep track. Every few days, she would ask me, how's the baby? She never responded to what I said. She never asked to talk to her or see pictures and didn't even wish her a happy first birthday. I would have done all of that for her if she had asked. Other people asked and I gave it to them right away. If y'all remember from my first post, I was a stay-at-home dad. I took care of the house and the kids. She slept, partied, and worked. Apparently, the entire spring break, she pawned off my stepkids to their grandma and never once even called to talk to them.
Well, she just seems like a pretty neglectful parent.
Yes.
The all around.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
I don't think we've seen any sign
Basically,
of her being
no
a good
redeeming
parent.
qualities.
Yeah.
No redeeming qualities. Also, get Granny on the stand.
Absolutely. I was about to say, yeah, like this is all evidence.
Yeah.
This is all evidence you could use.
But back to the story. But that's the grandma's idea, and my wife thinks a 8 and 6-year-old can be left alone all night. Yikes. The grandma had been doing all the cleaning and caring for the kids as soon as she got off work, basically doing what I did while my wife slept. She stopped cleaning and coming over early after she went over one day a week ago and found a man there. Whoa, yep, not even a month into my vacation, and she had a boyfriend.
Well, she probably had the boyfriend beforehand.
Yeah.
But he only speaks Spanish.
Yeah, he doesn't speak English, okay?
Yeah, don't worry.
So it's not cheating.
Exactly.
You know, if she hooks up with him,
it's not cheating.
As long as he only speaks in Spanish, it's not cheating.
It's fine.
That's how it works.
The loophole.
She brought a man into our house and is effing him in our bed. The pain I feel, the worthlessness I feel, it kills me. It really does. I know she is harmful and she never really loved me. I've suspected she was cheating on me, but to have proof and for her to flaunt it, it really does hurt. Now, both grandma and faux grandma, a family friend, are really livid with my wife and what she was doing. Granny's on the stand.
Yes.
Let's run it. Especially since it's in front of the stepkids. I hate that as well. I mean, what example does that set for the kids? Cheating is okay? My stepdaughter is 6. She is seeing this and will think it's normal when she grows up, for F's sake. The grandma has told me that after all of this is said and done and my wife calms down, she will realize what she had and what she gave up. Since just over a year ago, I was the best thing to happen to my wife, per her words. Grandma said not to be surprised if she calls up trying to get me to watch the kids. All my wife's and my friends who know me and my part of the story are secretly rooting for me. Part of the my wife gives them is threatening to keep the kids from seeing them, saying that they are not allowed to help me at all. The friends all say I am the best man she ever had and in a roundabout way insinuated I was too good for her. I see that now. I realize now it wasn't my fault for the fights, the arguments, or the abuse. Hold on. Just quick.
I was very proud of you.
Got out of the vortex and you're seeing I couldn't have done anything to prevent this aside from me standing up for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. I allowed this to happen by thinking if I changed, she would love me like she used to. I see that it was all an act now. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the third and I think final update.
Ooh, let's get into it.
Okay, sorry I didn't post the first part. Yesterday was busy. A lot of crap went down. If you're still reading, thank you. I know it's a long one. And temporary custody decision. Yesterday started rough. I had been hearing about how my wife was planning to come at me, pew-pews hot, blasted me as a deadbeat dad and not fit to care for her daughter. My wife was convinced that I wasn't going to be there since she had said that I could call into court for my appearance. She thought she would get the judge to order me back with my daughter. She also was convinced and told everyone that I was stupid to hire a lawyer.
Too stupid.
Oh, that I was too stupid to hire a lawyer.
Wouldn't have hired a lawyer, yeah.
Well, guys and girls, I came back to Indiana with my daughter. Let's go. My mom flew out with me to help. My dad took out a loan against his retirement to pay for my lawyer, and he also set up a crowdfunding page to help with the legal fees. Let's go. It was for family and friends. I'm not going to plug it, but I'm thankful for all the people who donated. I had never even met some of them. The morning of the hearing, on the way to the courthouse, I spent vomiting up stomach acid and bile for 5 minutes. Ooh, I haven't eaten in 2 days by then. I cleaned up and we went to the courthouse. As we arrived on the second floor, I saw her, my wife. I was holding my daughter. I walked straight up to her and said, Hey, wife's name. Here's your mommy, baby girl. My wife looked at me with the most perfect expression on her face. Total deer in headlights look. She didn't say hi to her daughter, who she hadn't seen in 4 weeks, by the way. She returned to what she was doing, finishing writing her lawyer a check before taking her daughter. She held her for about 4 to 5 minutes before putting her on the ground. My daughter looked at her, waiting for more interaction before coming back to me. My wife and her lawyer left to discuss their plan that I assume centered around me not being there. A few minutes later, my lawyer came in and walked right up to them and asked if they were ready to review my counter petition. I will never forget their reaction. They both said, hit it, Sophia.
Who are you?
That's what they said. He responded that he was my lawyer and we were ready if they were. My wife apparently assured her lawyer that I wouldn't get a lawyer myself. He flashed me a big wink with a crap-eating grin. He enjoyed that ambush just as much as I did. While the lawyers talked, I could see how angry my wife was. I could almost hear her teeth grinding. After they talked, they brought us to separate rooms. My lawyer told me that they would try to settle since we got one over them. They didn't prepare for me being there or having a lawyer. Their whole case was I didn't even come back in person for court. We settled in mediation. I got 3/4 75% custody of my daughter. My wife gets her every weekend from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. and alternating weekends. I completely ruined her plan of getting 100% child support. She had been bad-mouthing me and talking me down to her friends and her family, telling them lies about me, but anyone who knew me and my side of the story knew she was full of crap. I'm curious to see how she explains to them how an irresponsible idiot got more custody of my daughter than she did. It seems like more than 25%.
Yeah, I was like, that seems
way
like more than 25%.
Yeah, good.
Every weekday from 2 to 8?
But I guess
Maybe he's working from that point?
But I guess technically if you have her the other, what would that be? 16 hours or something like that?
So you have her like when she's asleep?
Basically, yeah, which
She's
is
got-
kind of...
I don't know, that's a weird custody agreement.
She has had her since after the hearing. I'm already going insane with worry. I don't know how she could have gone and partied the day or two after I left. I can't eat or sleep, and all I think about is my daughter. I get her back Sunday night. This will be the longest weekend of my life.
I will say, I think this is temporary custody. I think they mentioned that this was
Yes.
a temporary custody agreement, which makes a little bit more sense why it's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe in the future when they have the actual custody agreement, it'll be a little different.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
that's the 75 or
Yeah.
maybe the 75 is part of the temporary. Not 100% sure, but let us know what you think in comments. This is only a small win in a long battle. I have close to an impossible road ahead of me. I have until Tuesday to find a place to live. I have no money, no job, no car, but I do have love for my daughter. And with that, I will move mountains for her and we will prevail.
I mean, it's shocking that OP got 75% custody with no job, no car, no house.
You are bringing up a very good point.
Like, I mean, it kind of, to me, shows how bad
Yeah.
she is.
I also wonder how if he got money back from the joint account, because I would assume
yeah.
legally you're entitled to.
Well, I think these aren't the divorce hearings. These are just the custody hearings.
Maybe just move back to the parents' house to plan everything out, I think just trying to get a job, line things up, and, But we have another update. I lied. I'm a big fat liar.
Let's read it.
There's more. Okay, so picking up off the last post, I found a place for us to stay.
Nice.
That's great. One of the daughters of the faux grandma and her boyfriend have opened up their house to me and my daughter. That's awesome. We are both really grateful to them. We currently go on 1 to 2 walks a day, and earlier today, we spent close to an hour just playing outside. My daughter's mom started out strong with the custody hours, but as I guessed, she started coming later and later. Now it's an average of once a week that she gets her, and she's all but given up on the weekends. So it's like I have full and total custody.
I think someone mentioned that earlier. They were saying like she's probably gonna like kind of just stop
Fade out.
Yeah, fade out because it doesn't seem like she wanted to take care of the kid in the first place. It seems like she mostly just wanted custody to spite him.
I totally agree. She brings her boyfriend every time she comes to get our daughter. She refused to be cordial, ignoring my wishes that she have a good day. Somehow it's my fault that she has to drive out and get our daughter. Her being inconsistent has really hindered me though. I have my daughter ready to leave before her pickup time, but I have to wait 3+ hours to see if she really shows up, which OP's probably working now or getting a job. That's very, that's tough. She is inconsistent and may even be doing it on purpose. I'm trying to be good and have her ready on time, but it's really cutting into my appointments. I now take my daughter with me to my physical therapy because more often than not, my ex won't pick her up. She's refusing to give me my stuff, my clothes, and other important items that I left when my daughter and I took our trip to California. She is also claiming that she has no money, so she hasn't made her payments. She owes me a $400 lump sum of child support. We agreed on $750 in lieu of weekly child support, but she somehow has money for new clothes, a new phone, and a new smartwatch.
I feel like this is all information that you can be taking stock of and bring back to another child.
I have to imagine.
Custody.
And then the price goes up. Like, all right, you decided not to pay me now? All right. Price going up.
Exactly.
Price going up. This is for our daughter. I wonder how that works. Thankfully, I have people who love my daughter, so she will never go without. I have no money, and no one has given me a call back for the jobs I've applied for. Not that I could work since I basically have my daughter 24/7. I have applied for unemployment. That was another thing I was going to mention too. And am currently enrolled in school full-time, but I've hit some roadblocks regarding my GI bill.
Oh, I also forgot OP is a vet. Yeah.
So maybe there's some opportunities there or something.
Yeah.
He's working on getting the GI Bill for school, which is great. Maybe
which
that
should
comes
hopefully help.
Maybe that a living stipend or something.
Usually, yeah, you can get like, if you're a veteran, you can get some sort of stipend and some sort of funding. It's a bit hard. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like reaching out to.
Worth looking into. But you know what else is worth looking into, Sophia?
What?
There are 2,000 episodes of OK Storytime. But for some reason, you right now haven't pulled out your phone, gone to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart Podcast, your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime.
That's so strange.
What is wrong with you?
You're telling me you're only listening to one episode of OK Storytime right now when you could be listening to 54 days worth of episodes at the same time?
Do better.
Do better.
All right, but we have a little bit left in the story here. So, Opie says, my daughter's doing amazing. She's surrounded by people who love her. She is walking so good now and communicates more and more. She's getting so big, it's night and day from before we left and now. She's getting more and more independent too, and she likes to be in control. I'm hopefully not like her mother. Oh, God.
Yeah.
My daughter is happy, though, so I just need to be strong for her. As for my divorce, I haven't got to the next court date yet, and my lawyer said it isn't worth trying to change any temporary custody order, so I just need to wait this out. It's hard since I have to stay here in Indiana. If I was in California, I would have my family, a job, free college, and everything would be easier.
Oh. Well, because probably he might be like in-state.
Because the kid and access to the kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can't leave to California with the kid to be able to get all that stuff.
Exactly.
Because she still has some custody rights.
I'm just like, can you get more custody?
I have to imagine if he says that to a judge, like,
You
Judge,
say like, I have all of this access to stuff. She doesn't even want the kid.
Yes.
She's not showing up to pick up our child.
so I'm stuck here probably for the next 16 years.
I think you should go back, get that. I mean, you settled in mediation, but like, is there any way that I feel like you could have gotten more if you hadn't settled? Maybe because it was cheaper.
But that is it. That is literally all she wrote. And this episode.
Yeah. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.